and come to order. This court is again in session.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You may begin. Mr. Parker.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Etheridge, you realize you're still under oath?
Yes.
We were looking at Exhibit 982, which was a website page from Target. We're going to pull that up again. Let's just catch all the products, please, Mr. Vaughn. So we had earlier talked about kids' products and the adult products. Why are the kids' products in the bright, cheery colors?
Because it's a kids' line, so we wanted to promote happiness, for children.
Is it uncommon for children's lines to be in bright colors, like bright greens, bright oranges, bright yellows?
No.
And do you advertise on billboards and other publicity that you talked about earlier, the kids' line with the adult line? Or do you advertise them separately?
Separately.
As different families?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk a little more about Stewart's Direct. Earlier, he showed a slide that referred to, quote, the retail sizes, close quote, of mixed chicks. Is the 33-ounce size sold at retail?
Yes.
And does it have a manufacturer's suggested retail price?
Yes.
Why?
Because our retailers buy it at wholesale and sell it at retail for the consumer.
Now, there were some colors on the demonstratives, and I have mentioned colors a couple times, so I won't keep mentioning them over and over. Hopefully I can live by that promise. But were the colors on the slides that Mr. Stewart showing accurate?
No.
Were they a little off?
A little faded, yes.
Now, let's talk about the colors of these products as they sit on the shelves. And I'm not just talking about mixed chicks or mixed silk, but generally conditioning products. Do colors sometimes fade or change as products sit on the shelf?
Yes.
The shades could be slightly different than they were when they left the factory door, so to speak?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart asked you about the pump on your liter-sized bottles, and he asked you whether it was functional, and you said yes. Was the selection of the transparency of the pump a functional choice?
No.
Was it an aesthetic choice?
Yes.
Now, he also asked you about the MOP product, and what does MOP stand for?
Modern Organic Products.
And he showed you a bottle called Mixed Greens, right?
Yes.
Was the Mixed Greens product on the market when you released your Mixed Chicks leave-in conditioner?
No.
Was it on the market when you released your Mixed Chicks shampoo and deep conditioner?
No.
I'm talking about the 10-ounce version and the 8-ounce version right now. So the answer is no?
No.
What was the name on the bottle, or the name of the bottle of the Modern Organic products that you were looking at when you decided on the bottle shape that you decided on?
It was a lemongrass shampoo and conditioner.
So it did not have the word mixed on it?
No.
And was it the same color as the product that Mr. Stewart marked the Mixed Greens product?
No.
And what exhibit is that again, just so we can...
This is Exhibit 888.
Okay, thank you. Now, he asked you a series of questions. One of the questions about the Mixed Chicks and Mixed Silk products, one of them was whether they were the same, and you answered no. Does same mean identical in your mind?
No.
All right. Is there a difference in your mind between same and similar?
Well, yeah, it's very similar.
Do you think the products look similar?
They look very similar, yes.
But do they look identical?
No.
All right. Let's take a look again at Exhibit 424, which we looked at in your direct. And this, again, is a billboard. And, again, this is one of the ways that Mixed Chicks advertises its products.
Yeah.
And Exhibit 791, look at that. You pull that up? Oh, I have the card. Let's do Exhibit 1, acknowledging that the colors are slightly off. My apologies. Okay, and if we can pull out the products.
That is the Mixed Chicks 33-ounce shampoo, the Mixed Chicks 10-ounce shampoo, the Mixed Chicks 10-ounce leave-in, Mixed Chicks 33-ounce leave-in, Mixed Chicks 8-ounce deep conditioner, Mixed Chicks 33-ounce deep conditioner, and the 1.7-ounce Mixed Chicks hair silk.
Perfect. Now, earlier in your direct, you testified that to your knowledge, other than on the internet, the Mixed Chicks and Mixed Silk products are not seen side by side.
Yes.
Right. So the consumer sees things like that, this billboard, and then would see the Mixed Silk product on the shelf.
Yes.
And do they see? So they don't see the shampoo right next, the Mixed Silk shampoo right next to the 10-ounce Mixed Chick shampoo.
No.
And have you seen the Mixed Silk products actually on the shelf for sale at a Sally Beauty?
Yes.
And how are they shown on the shelf? Or let me ask it this way. How were they shown on the shelf when you saw them?
Just and placed on the shelf, I mean, next to each other.
Right, together?
The shampoo, the leave-in conditioner, and the deep conditioner.
Right. And, Your Honor, may I briefly approach?
Yes.
Much like they're placed on that shelf right now?
Yes.
All right, can you take the Mixed Chicks products away from the Mixed Silk trio, please, and put it over with the rest of the Mixed Chicks products? All right. So is that similar to what you saw on the shelf at Sally Beauty when you saw it?
Yes.
Let's talk about big sexy hair. The first laugh of the trial, but not a big laugh.
Well,
I'm working on it.
There were quotes around it, but
Mr. Wexler thought I was making fun of him again. There's a difference between when you look at the pairing of Big Sexy Hair and So Gorgeous versus the pairing of Mixed Chicks and Mixed Silk. There's a difference in how those two sets compare. What's the difference?
Well, with Big Sexy Hair, again, it says Big Sexy Hair. And on the Sally's brand, So Gorgeous, there's not one word that says big, sexy, or hair.
Now, Mr. Stewart also asked some questions about Joe Edwards, who's a representative of yours.
He's a sales rep.
Okay, what's a sales rep? Is he an employee?
No, he's an individual. He's a contractor.
Okay, and does he represent your line exclusively?
No, he represents several lines.
What other lines does Mr. Edwards represent?
I don't know all of them offhand. I know he represents Jane Carter. He represents a line called Scalpture. I know there's a men's line. I apologize, I don't know all the different lines offhand. I know it has to be about at least 5, 10, 15 lines.
What's Jane Carter? What market is that product for?
That's in the natural hair market.
And Mr. Edwards also has employees?
Yes.
And you contract. Earlier, Mr. Stewart was talking about a distributor, and I'm kind of working in the interest of time here. Is Mr. Edwards someone that sets up transactions between you and ultimate retailers?
Yes.
And he does that for other people too?
Yes.
All right. Now, let me ask you some questions. Mr. Stewart went through some comparisons of these two products and pointing out some differences between your product and the Mixed Silk products. But he also, do you recall that?
Yes.
And he also asked you about whether the bottle was stock or not?
Yes.
All right. Now, is the similarities between these two products just about the stock bottle?
No.
Is it just about the clear caps?
No.
Is it just about the orange labels?
No.
Is it only about the yellow and the orange colors?
No.
Is it only about the use of translucent bottles?
No.
Is it only about the use of orange in the text on both products?
No.
So what is it about?
It's about the products looking very similar, looking close to being the same.
No further questions, Your Honor? No questions, Your Honor.
thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
Please call your next witness.
Your Honor, the plaintiff calls Bradley Kaya to the stand.
All right.
We're getting him now. He was in the anteroom when I left, Your Honor. I can
All right,
promise you
we'll
that.
see. So while we're waiting for that gentleman, let me tell you what goes on here. You probably noticed Ms. Paddock here banging away on her keyboard, and it's a special keyboard. It's not a regular typewriter. It's like shorthand strokes, and then a computer program translates it into live words. The live words show up on these different screens we have here, and so we get a live review of what's being said as it's said. It's pretty neat. She's very good. How come that part, she's very good, came out with bold and stars around it?
An exclamation point.
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Should be seated, please. And if you would state and spell your first and last name.
Brad Kaya. I'm sorry, last name is Kaaya.
Brad, B-R-A-D.
Correct.
Mr. Kaya, can you move that mic a little closer? Mr. Kaya, what's your title at Mixed Chicks?
I'm co-owner.
And we're also one of the founders?
Yes.
And what is your role at Mixed Chicks today?
I handle
Not in trial, but generally today.
I handle most of the advertising at Mixed Chicks. The three of us, the three owners, myself and Kim and Wendy, all wear multiple hats, but primarily I'm the advertising guy.
And when you say wear multiple hats, what else have you done in the past for Mixed Chicks?
We have to take orders, order product, deliver product, do whatever we have to do at the company that takes the normal course of business.
Do they ever let you talk to customers?
Yes. I try to lean on Kim and Wendy to do most of that, but yes, I do talk to customers at times.
And you and Miss Levy are married?
Yes.
When did you get married?
Got married in 2008.
And do you have any children?
Yes. We have one.
And was she born in 2008?
She was born in
2008?
End of 2008, yes.
All right, and Miss Levy goes by the name Levy Kaya these days?
Correct.
But I've been calling her Miss Levy. You understand who I'm talking about?
I do.
How did you and Miss Levy meet?
We met through friends in 1996.
And how did you meet Miss Etheridge?
I met Kim through Wendy's friend is Kim's sister, Alicia.
And is Miss Etheridge also a friend of yours?
Yes.
Do you have any other businesses together other than Mixed Chicks?
No, we don't.
All right, we've heard from Miss Etheridge about some of the founding of the company. How were you involved in getting Mixed Chicks off the ground?
I was there to support their idea emotionally and a little bit financially. I put in money at the beginning after they decided they wanted to do a product, and gave feedback as we went through the whole process.
And how much money did you put in over time?
Over a couple of years, I put in close to $20,000.
And we'll talk a little bit about the growth of the company, but was some of the company's growth self-financed, meaning with company money?
Yes. I mean, I would say all of the company's growth was self-financed.
And when you started in on the business, this hair care business, were you nervous about competing in the hair care market?
Yes. This was the thought of it was that, look, there's a lot of hair product companies out there, and so I wasn't sure if we could wedge our way in. But because Kim and Wendy had a good thought and a good concept, I thought there might be a way that we could carve out a niche for ourselves.
And how long did it take before the company turned a profit?
We started making a little bit of money in 2006, where it was at least supporting itself.
Got any regrets about starting the company?
No, I don't.
All right, let me let you tell the jury a little bit about your personal background. Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Sacramento, California.
And did you go to college?
Yes, I went to UC Davis. I graduated in 1989. I had a bachelor's in economics, and shortly thereafter, I decided I wanted to take that bachelor's degree and start making movies.
So how was that economics degree helping you make movies?
Not at all.
And are you a mixed race?
Yes.
Can you just describe the ancestry of your parents, please?
My mother is white. My father's black, if I wanted to be specific. My father's actually from Tanzania. My mother is Spanish and German, Italian, Jewish, and it's just a smidgen of Irish.
And when you started into the movie-making business, just generally between the time you graduated and the time you started looking at Mixed Chicks in 2003, can you give the jury an overview of what you were doing?
Working in the movie business early, I was a production assistant, which is a good way to say gopher. I sort of go for anything, water, clothespins, food, lunch, whatever. After a while, I started writing sitcoms and movies, and I slowly got jobs, or I started off in music videos, and then I wrote television and some films also.
And then have you worked on any television shows that anybody's heard of?
I did Mad TV, Malcolm and Eddie sitcoms. I did Cousin Skeeter, which was a kid's show. The movie that I wrote was O, which is Othello set in high school. I did a lot of movies that end up sitting on the shelf. That's sort of the studio way. They spend a lot of money on things that don't get made, but a few did.
And once Mixed Chicks was founded in 2003, did you continue any of your screenwriting work?
Yes, I did.
Why?
I had to. Mixed Chicks wasn't making enough money to pay for everything, so I continued to sort of work my movies. I was doing a lot of script doctoring at the time, so I did movies while I was helping Kim and Wendy run the company.
And in the past approximately 3 years, percentage-wise, in terms of your work time, how much time do you spend working on Mixed Chicks issues, and how much time do you spend doing any screenwriting?
Mixed Chicks is pretty much 99% of my time at this point. I, once in a while, feel like I should or want to write, but we don't have all that much time to do anything else.
Who has final authority for advertising expenditures at Mixed Chicks?
The three of us make the decision together. There's times when I'll pull the trigger on something that I know Kim and Wendy won't object to, but usually we share the final say-so.
And do you monitor and remain aware of what the company's spending on advertising?
Yes, I do.
And do you monitor and remain aware of how the company's doing financially in terms of sales and expenses?
Yes, I pay attention to our QuickBook numbers. That's our accounting system.
And do you also have a bookkeeper for that purpose?
Yeah, our bookkeeper's name is Rick Hall. He's a part-time person that comes in every Friday and does everything that we need him to do. And
do you keep books, since 2006, have you kept your books and records in a computer program?
Yes.
And does Mr. Hall enter that information?
Correct.
And does he enter that information in the due course of the business on or about the time the financial transactions occur?
Yes, he does.
Let's talk about the selection of the Mixed Chicks name. Why Mixed Chicks?
Well, Kim and Wendy referred to themselves as Mixed Chicks. It was just who they were. The product obviously can be used by anybody. Curly hair, wavy hair, it doesn't matter. There's a broad spectrum of people who use our product, but because Kim and Wendy were Mixed Chicks, we thought that's a good name. It's authentic. Just do it because you guys needed the product for yourselves, so we'll make a product and call it who you are.
And did you perceive at the time any risk to marketing with a name like that, Mixed Chicks?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you explain that to the jury, please?
Well, at the time, there were products, plenty of hair products, and there were curly hair products. There was John Frieda Frizzies, but nobody actually pointed a product directly at someone for any kind of racial, or they didn't make any racial expressions in their name. There was no Mixed Chicks. So by doing that, we sort of hung a lantern on the idea that there's multiracial people out there who haven't had products for themselves. There's been black hair care products or ethnic products, and there was white products, but there was no middle product. There was no middle of the road. So we thought that since Kim and Wendy are mixed chicks, let's give it a shot.
And how'd that work out?
Very well.
And why do you think it worked out so well?
Well, I think the people who were biracial and did have biracial hair, they got very excited at the idea that here's a product for us for the first time. No one's ever seen that before. And so we got a lot of passionate people who would take our product and go tell their friends and their family at Christmas or at birthdays, and they would tell their kids' parents at school that, hey, there's a product called Mixed Chicks, you need to try it. So we got all this passion out of people who hadn't had a product developed around them, and then we also got people who weren't mixed but had curly hair and could use the product.
So let's talk about that product development just a little bit. Ms. Etheridge talked about it quite a bit, and I know you were not present for that, but what was your role in developing these Mixed Chicks products?
I gave feedback. It was Kim and Wendy were doing the formulas and the going back and forth with the lab, but I definitely gave feedback on how it worked. My hair might be short, but I do use Mixed Chicks. I have it in right now. I had the same struggles that they had on finding products that actually worked for my hair also. I had my white roommates, I had the black roommates, I mixed products together, a little Luster's pink oil, I tried regular gel that my white roommate would have, and it never quite worked right. So Mixed Chicks leave-in worked on my hair, so I could definitely give them feedback.
What design features did you have the most impact on?
Design in the formula or the...
Well, let's talk about the leave-in conditioner and the design of the packaging. Thank you very much. And that was a really bad question. Let's talk about the leave-in packaging, and let's start with the 10-ounce leave-in. Since that was your first product, what did you have the most impact on for the leave-in?
I did some writing on the text of the bottle. I also sort of gave feedback on how the text might lay out. Somewhere deep in my past, I took a poetry class, and I understood that you could make line breaks at certain places when you're writing something and make that line mean a little bit more. So I did a lot of that, and I gave feedback with Wendy and Kim on the coloring and the way the color schemes might come together.
And did you also edit the copy on the shampoo?
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's take a look at the shampoo. That's Exhibit 775. Did you edit the final copy of the ad copy on there?
Yes, I did.
And let's enlarge the text. So we're looking at the bottle, and there's Mixed Chicks and the words leave-in conditioner, and below that there's some orange language.
Correct. Are we talking about the leave-in or the shampoo?
We're talking about the shampoo, Exhibit 775. Thank you. There you go. All right, so at the top, you can't see it on that magnification, but at the top of the bottle, the first logo is Mixed Chicks, correct? All right, and then it says shampoo, and then below that there's some green language. Did you do the final edit on that?
I believe I did, yes.
And why are the only two words on the first two lines gently cleansed?
Well, there were clarifying shampoos and there were shampoos, but we wanted to make it clear that this shampoo would get your hair clean and it would gently cleanse your hair. So that was clearly what we were going for. But we also wanted to add text and make it a little bit, make it more of an impact than just the words gently cleanse.
All right, and you mentioned you got the two products in front of you. If you can put those two 10-ounce products up where the jury can see them, because I think they're hidden behind a bottle of water. And you mentioned input into the color of the products.
Correct.
And what were you, when you were giving input into the color, what were you looking for?
Okay, well, the leave-in sort of has this yellow sun-kissed glow. And I always thought Wendy, my wife, she's not in the courtroom at the moment, but she has sort of highlights in her hair. When she's tan, there's sort of a sun-kissed glow. Looking at the leave-in, there's something like inspired when I look at that, and I have the same feeling. The shampoo, to me, little bit darker color, but it still has that sun-kissed glow, and I think that's, in my head, Kim, my partners sometimes laugh at me when I'm designing colors and things like that, but they understand that I think you can be inspired by people, and it's just art. And to me, those bottles reflect the word Mixed Chicks, and it reflects them and who they are.
Do you believe, you can put those back with the family of products, and by the family of products I mean the other 33-ounce shampoo shampoo, deep conditioner, leave-in conditioner. Do you believe that that product grouping is unique looking?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe that that product family stands out from other products?
Yes, I do.
Individually or as a group?
Both. I mean, as a group especially, because we designed it with the thought in mind. We knew we were going to have multiple colors. The company has mixed in its name. And we wanted to keep that still warm, sun-kissed glow. So our oranges, our browns, our product, which is yellow, our shampoo product, which is sort of yellowy orange, and even our green, which is green, but it's an olive green. And on our PMS color chart, if you look at it, PMS is just a fancy name for something that graphic artists refer to. It's along the same family that has a lot of brown in it. So although it is green, it's technically a green with brown. And
were you also involved in selecting the 33-ounce bottle for the leave-in conditioner?
Yes, I was.
And why was that particular bottle chosen?
One, the size of it. We liked the busting around. The way the shoulders sloped down was somehow similar, at least in the shoulders, to our 10-ounce bottles. We wanted it big enough to where you could see the text from a distance. And I liked the way it sort of fit in with the idea of having a pump.
And you're aware that that is a stock, what's known as a stock bottle?
Correct.
Did you pick among a variety of potential stock bottles?
Yes.
And do you remain generally familiar with the marketplace at retail for hair care products?
Yes, I do.
How do you do that?
I go to stores occasionally. I look online, and I'm at trade shows. Occasionally, it's mostly Kim and Wendy at trade shows, but I do go to trade shows. So.
And was that bottle, even though it's a stock bottle, a common shape bottle at the time you picked it?
It wasn't completely common. There was a lot of different choices out there that you can make, but it is a stock bottle, and there are a lot of Boston rounds. But it wasn't completely common to our knowledge at the time.
Now you mentioned you wanted the name to be visible from a distance.
Correct.
Why?
Well, I wanted people to know that it's Mixed Chicks. Again, it goes back to our name. We were trying to carve out a niche in a crowded marketplace by saying this is for biracial people.
And did you also pick the clear pump, the translucent pump?
I didn't pick it, but I did give feedback on it.
And what was your opinion about the translucent pump?
Well, I liked that it sort of fit in with the bottle. It was slightly translucent like the bottle, and I liked the height of it, and it was a good choice to have a pump that worked well.
Any downsides to a translucent pump in a product like that?
The downside a little bit is that, as you can see in this product here, it gets a little messy. After you've used it a few times, you can see the product through it. So it's never quite clean after you use it, but at least it is our colors.
Now, do you participate in creating the advertising for Mixed Chicks?
Yes.
And also structuring the marketing?
Yes.
And do you place advertisements yourself with respect to the advertising you do, or do you use a third party?
Some I do in-house, and sometimes we use a third party.
And who makes the final decision about whether an ad is placed?
It would be either myself or the three of us, Kim, Wendy, and myself.
And how much money overall, in terms of rough dollars, has Mixed Chicks spent advertising its product?
Since the beginning?
Yes.
We're over $1 million. Over $1 million.
Right. And let's take a look at Exhibit 478. which is a financial document, so we're not going to go through it page by page, I promise. What is 478?
That is a transaction detail report from our bank account showing some transactions and check money going out, money going in.
Okay, so it shows payments to things like vendors and advertisers?
Correct.
And also money received?
Yes.
And you mentioned QuickBooks, so this is something that came out of the QuickBooks system, your accounting system at the company?
Yes.
Right. Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 178 into evidence.
Without objection, it's admitted.
All right, let's take a look at page 9 of Exhibit 178, and we're just going to concentrate on the first 4 columns, and Mr. Vaughn will pull that up. All right, and let's take a look at the very top left corner. There's, on page 9, what does that say?
That is a date that says 2011. I'm sorry, it's a little small, Ken.
And below that?
That says advertising expenses.
All right, and is that where the advertising transactions begin?
Correct.
So let's take a look at some of those. It's always hard to remember what one did in 2006. And let's take a look at the name column and capture the date column, please, as well, Mr. Vaughn. A little further down. All right, and there we go. All right, are you able to read that?
Yes.
So where were some of the places you started advertising in 2006, or you were advertising in 2006?
We used the smart yellow pages that SBC had. It was an online. It also had a print component to it. We did SF Weekly. Those were magazines, a weekly magazine in the Bay Area. We did the Daily Bruin for UCLA fans. Those were like the early days of our print advertising. They were usually small ads, but they got bigger as we went on.
And every place you ever advertised, or not every place, but a lot of places are captured in this financial document?
Correct.
And what was the earliest advertising that you did?
In 2005, I believe it was right at the beginning of our website, we started advertising online with Google. And we did Google AdWords. I think most of you are familiar with them. If you're not, it's when you type in a search for tires and a little ad will come up on the side. It's usually a text. Sometimes it's a banner, and it may say, Big O Tires, save 25%, click now. Every time someone clicks on that, they're charged a cost per click. And we did that a lot in 2005 before there were some beauty companies doing it, but not very many were doing it when we did it.
And did you advertise on the internet as well?
Yes, as far as internet banners. So we were doing cost per click on text ads and then internet banner ads in places like naturallycurly.com, which is on this screen. Naturally Curly is a website that caters to curly hair, and so we would place banners on there. And I think we had, at least through 2011, we probably had 23 million impressions for our ads on Naturally Curly. And an impression is anytime someone's eyeballs actually land on that page that has your banner ad.
And let's take a look at Exhibit 492 in your notebook. What is Exhibit 492?
That's one of our banner ads.
I'd like to move 492 into evidence.
Without objection, it's submitted.
Let's take a look at that. So is this one of the types of banner ads that would run on the internet?
Correct.
And did you also run others?
Yes, we did. We've had many different banner ads in different formations with Kim and Wendy's face, some with just the products, and again, some with just text. Now,
as time went by and the liter sizes got introduced, were there banner ads with liter sizes in them?
I don't recall if there were banner ads with the liters on them. Sometimes the liters were big and they were hard to fit on a small banner ad, but again, I don't recall the liter size.
Now, how did you decide over the years how much to spend on your advertising?
Well, I looked at it like we should do at least 5% in advertising. And at times that's swelled up to 15%, but then I might include what's kind of lumped into advertising might be all marketing expense, including our trade shows and our giveaways and our sampling programs and our banners and our prints and our brochures. So at any rate, the answer is somewhere between 5 and 15%.
And 5 to 15% of revenue?
Of revenue, sales.
And did you monitor that as sales were coming in and dial up or dial back your advertising budget based on the incoming revenues?
Yes, I did.
Sorry, how often would you look at that?
I was a little obsessed about it early on. I tried to look at it every week where we were headed, but every month or every quarter I would at least take a look and see where we'd been and try to plan our advertising accordingly.
All right. Take a look at Exhibit 411, please. And what is Exhibit 411?
That's one of our early magazine advertisements.
Can I move Exhibit 411 into evidence?
Without objection, it's admitted.
All right. And I see the product. It's pretty obvious. Who's pictured below in that Exhibit 411?
That's Kim and Wendy's face with our text with their names and our logo.
Now, when was the decision made to make Ms. Etheridge and Ms. Levy the face of the corporation or the company?
I don't quite remember the exact date, but early on, right here, we started using their faces. Again, it goes back to me saying that they call themselves Mix Chicks, and that gives us some form of authenticity, developing a product for two specific people that needed the product for themselves. So right from the beginning, we started using their face.
Do you always use them in advertising?
Not always.
Do you sometimes use other models in advertising?
Yes, we do.
And do you have any estimate of the rough percentages of advertisements that picture Ms. Levy and Ms. Etheridge as a pair versus the multi-model ad that Mix Chicks has?
I would say it's about 75% with Kim and Wendy, and then we use the other models maybe 10% of the time, but then we also do it with just the products themselves for the remainder.
And is that an estimate of all the types of graphic advertising you do, or just a particular type of medium like print or internet?
I would say that's overall.
All right, take a look at Exhibit 412. And what is Exhibit 412?
That is another one of our ads. I believe that one was in Pasadena Magazine.
Your Honor, I move Exhibit 412 into evidence.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor. We have, well, if we're going to show just the ad, we don't have a problem with the ad. It'll be the other text.
Let's put it on the screen.
To be honest, Your Honor, it's a little illegible otherwise, but it's hard to read.
And your objection is?
We would have a hearsay objection, to be honest. It's very hard to read, so I'm not sure.
Does it have anything to do with this case?
That's what I can't tell, Your Honor. I think the copy's bad, but I don't know if he's going to highlight something that I...
Do you know if the text has anything? Do you know if the text has anything to do with this case?
It doesn't have anything to do with the case. It looks like some spa ads and a commercial for Invisalign above the Mix Chicks ad.
No.
Okay. Can you read it on your page there, counsel?
I can, Your Honor, and I apologize, but I can indeed. And will this switch over to just your monitor?
Well, we don't need to do that. All on your representation that there's nothing in the printed material about this case, I'll admit the
That's right, Your Honor. Thank you.
412 is admitted.
All right, let's take a look at the ad in Exhibit 412. And can you just highlight that square? There you go, Mr. Vaughn. What is it? And it isn't the greatest copy. Did you keep copies of each and every ad you placed?
Most of them, not every single one.
Now, what's this particular ad?
This ad is just talking about defining curls, and if you have frizzy hair, our product is for you. It's got a picture of our product and a before and after of somebody with curly hair, which would otherwise be frizzy if they didn't use our product.
Now, did you also place the product or advertise a product in things called advertorials?
Yes, I did.
What's an advertorial?
An advertorial would be, let's say you have a full-page magazine ad in Allure magazine that might cost $50,000 and it was too pricey for us. So we did what were called advertorials through a couple advertising agencies, and so you might have 1/9 or 1/12 of the page, and you'd be amongst other ads. And they call it an advertorial because it looks like it's an editorial, but really it's an advertisement or promotion.
And can you take a look at Exhibit 415? What is Exhibit 415?
This is a Women's Day magazine, and it is an advertorial, and our product is in the left top corner. And the call-out is define your curl. That's our leave-in condition.
Stop you there. I'd like to move Exhibit 415 into evidence, Your Honor.
Without objection, it's admitted.
Right, and let's take a look at, so what magazine is it?
It is Women's Day.
And what's on the second page?
That would be the advertorial.
Is that on the upper left-hand side?
Correct.
And so it's an advertisement combined with other advertisements?
Yes, it is.
All right. What is Exhibit 404?
That is a Teen Vogue magazine. Again, it's an advertorial.
I move Exhibit 404 into evidence.
No objection, no.
Without objection, it's admitted.
All right. What magazines, just in terms of listing the magazines that are of national circulation, has Mixed Chicks advertised in?
We've done Allure magazine, Shape, Lucky, Parents, Parenting. We've done Runner's World. We've done Cosmopolitan and others.
Have you done 17?
I'm not sure if we did 17.
What about People?
I believe we've done People Style Watch, if I'm not mistaken.
And then do you also advertise in magazines that target particular segments like Ebony and Jet?
Correct.
Can you take a look at Exhibit 405, please? And what's depicted in Exhibit 405?
That is an Essence magazine.
And what is it? Is it an advertisement?
That's an advertisement. I wouldn't classify that one as an advertorial. It would be considered a quarter-page ad that we placed directly into Essence.
And about when was that ad placed?
That was placed in May of 2010.
Your Honor, I move Exhibit 405 into evidence.
No objection.
It's admitted.
All right, and that's the cover of the magazine the ad was in that we just saw?
Yes.
And then what's on the next page?
That is the quarter-page advertisement.
Okay, let's take a look at that. And let's just grab the headshots and the products, please. All right, and again, Ms. Etheridge and Ms. Levy, and the 10-ounce and 8-ounce products as well as the hair silk are there?
Correct.
Now, are some of these magazines online as well?
Most of the magazines have an online component, and they'll usually offer us what they call an added value to entice us to advertise with them. So if we do the print version of the magazine, they'll also give us an online banner ad or at least some form of text ad.
All right. Now, do you have an agency that helps place advertisements for you?
Yes.
What's that agency?
We use ASG Media and also WMI out of New York.
And what about advertorials?
Advertorials, those WMI does most of our advertorial.
There's a company called FYI. What does that company do for you?
FYI is our PR firm that we've hired.
Right. And does that firm track magazine ads for you?
Yes.
And did they do that pursuant to a contract with you?
Yes. I don't remember if it was a written contract or verbal, but they always supply us with monthly reports as to where they submitted our products to and where our products have actually shown up.
And do they deliver to you in the ordinary course of their business and your business copies of advertisements that have shown up in publications?
Yes, or they'll email us links to the online component so we can go and see it, verify it, and print it.
All right, and do you file those and keep track of those as an ordinary part of your business?
Yes, we do.
right? And so when FYI sends you something, you file it away in your electronic file or wherever around the time you receive it?
Correct.
All right. Can you take a look at Exhibit 367? And what is Exhibit 367?
That looks to be one of the placements that FYI got for us in Color magazine.
All right, and what is it? And just without describing this precise contents, what does it depict? When you say placement, what do you mean?
Well, they've submitted our products, and an editor of the magazine picked it up and put our products with some form of editorial article about the products.
Is that something you received and filed away as part of your business records?
Yes, I don't remember filing this one specifically myself, but that's how it would usually work.
Well, is there a policy at your company that those things would be filed away in a place where people can find them?
It's an unspoken policy. We just do it.
More of a practice then?
Correct.
Right. Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 367 as evidence.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Can you put it on the screen, please? Excuse me? Thank you. Counsel, do you have it in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you identify a particular paragraph where you're concerned about hearsay?
Your Honor, there's a couple of sentences in the first paragraph.
Right. Response from the plaintiff?
Your Honor, it's advertising. It's not submitted for the truth of anything asserted in it. It's submitted to show what was shown to the public about the product.
Response?
Your Honor, it appears to be an editorial written by this author, giving descriptions or her characterization of the products. I'm not sure it's an advertisement. If counsel wants to show, again, the products like we did earlier with the photographs, we wouldn't have a problem with that, Your Honor.
I'm inclined to admit it with a limiting instruction. Advertisements frequently have those types of statements, and advertisements are obviously relevant in a trademark case. And so I will instruct the jury right now with a limiting instruction, but permit the document to be admitted.
Your Honor.
And what was the exhibit number again?
Your Honor, it's 367.
367.
Could we get, just establish for the record, Your Honor, that this is clearly an advertisement and not an editorial?
Go ahead.
Mr. Kaya, what's the nature of this publication that we're looking at now, Exhibit 367?
Again, can you clarify the nature of it?
Well, is this an advertorial or an advertisement or a PR placement?
This is a PR placement.
Okay, what's a PR placement?
Our PR people will submit information about our products. Some of it's like an electronic press kit. They might email it or they would mail it. And so the editors get our information. It's written up about who Kim and Wendy are, how we started the company, the whole story about biracial hair products and everything. And then the editor can choose to write about it, place it, put pictures of it in their magazine.
And what's your purpose? What's the purpose of Mixed Chicks of trying to place this type of information through that process?
Trying to publicize our product, what it is, and what we're all about.
We do maintain our objection, Your Honor, that it's an editorial, not an ad.
Understood. The objection's overruled. You heard a hearsay objection. A hearsay objection is when someone is concerned that information is coming before you and they don't get a chance to cross-examine the person who said it. As you can tell, cross-examination is really important. Someone makes a statement, the other side gets to test that statement and cross-examine and see if it's true. So the reason we have a hearsay objection is because someone who's not here is making a statement and the other side doesn't get to cross-examine them. Well, someone who's not here is making a statement in this advertisement. And you're not to take those statements as true or false. It's not being offered for the truth of those statements. It's being offered as an example of an advertisement. So don't read here and take those things to be true, because that wouldn't be fair to the defendants. They don't have a right to cross-examine the person who wrote this. But you can look at it and see that it's an advertisement. So the hearsay objection is overruled. This isn't being offered for any truth of anything that's said in it. Go ahead.
And so, Mr. Kaya, is the product depicted in that placement?
Yes, our product is depicted there.
Take a look at Exhibit 374, and is 374 the same? You may not have. Do you not have it? Perfect. Sometimes we have a glitch.
Well, if he doesn't have it, we can put it on the screen if you wish.
I think he's got it.
I got it.
Is Exhibit 374 also a placement?
Yes, that is Beyond Black Beauty, and that is also a placement.
Your Honor, I'd move 374 into evidence with the same cautionary instruction to the jury.
Same objection, Your Honor.
All right, this is another ad. You'll see that in the ad, people are saying nice things about the product. Do not take that as a correct statement, because the defendant can't cross-examine about the nice things about the product. But you may evaluate this as another ad that was placed. That's the only reason it's being offered, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
All right, and also take a look at, well, let's take a look on the screen, sorry about that, at Exhibit 374. And what's Beyond Black Beauty?
That is a publication, and I believe it's online publication.
All right, take a look at Exhibit 377. And what is Exhibit 377?
That is another FYI PR placement.
Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 377 into evidence with for the same purpose and with the same cautionary instruction.
Same objection, Your Honor, but also an additional objection given the writing in the bottom right-hand corner, Your Honor. It's an authenticity objection, Your Honor, or best evidence objection as well, and hearsay. So just that, not this redacted version.
I'm inclined to sustain an objection to the statement on the lower right-hand corner. What would you like to do?
Your Honor, I'd like to show it without that statement.
Do you have a Elmo version? Oops, I'm sorry. Wait, look at that. Well done.
I only note, Your Honor, if they go back out to the jury, I think if the jury has hard copies, they will have that statement. So this is
redacted.
All right. So I always give this speech on redacting. All counsel are ordered to take careful note of what has been redacted. When it comes time to determine what documents go to the jury, it is up to counsel, not to Ms. Bradall or me, to cross-check on redaction. You'll be given a chance to double-check to make sure all proper redactions have been done. But again, it is the responsibility of both parties to redact. And with that, Exhibit 375, is it 375 we're on?
377, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. 377 is admitted without the comment in the lower right corner. And again, this isn't being admitted for the truth of the matter. It's being admitted as an example of an advertisement.
And can you take a look at Exhibit 377, Mr. Kaya? What was Monarch?
Monarch was a publication, I believe, a print publication.
And is this a depiction of the same 6 products that are sitting up to your left of the jury box?
Yes, it is.
And for the record, the products depicted are Exhibits 158, 774, 775, 154, 156, and 153?
Correct.
And at some point in time, instead of advertising the 10-ounce, 2 10-ounce bottles and the 8-ounce bottle, you started advertising this 6-bottle set as well?
Yes, we have a photograph that we use in most of our print advertising now and our outdoor billboard advertising, as well as our television advertising that has those products there that you see.
All right, and exhibit, if you take a look at exhibit 384. Is that another example of the 6-product advertisement?
Yes, it is.
And, Your Honor, I would move exhibit 384 into evidence and like to publish it. Actually, strike that, Your Honor. I don't need to use exhibit 384. I apologize. All right, Mr. Kaya, the television commercial that you saw in opening, when did that television commercial start to run?
2010.
And where did it run?
It's run in a lot of different places. Again, I use Google television advertising campaign systems for that. So I can put our TV commercial on the Oprah Winfrey Network, on ABC Family, maybe even Nick at Night. You might see it at a Cosby Show rerun. We might even run it at the ESPN tennis or women's soccer or something like that. There's a lot of places that we can get into by using Google, and so we've done that all over the country. We've also used CBS. We have a rep there at CBS Television who plays some ads for us also.
And when you buy advertising time for television from Google, do you try to buy exposure to a certain number of viewers?
You know, I just try to price it so it's not too expensive, but in general, I think at the time through 2011, we had approximately 47 million impressions through our television campaigns.
How do you know that?
Google provides, you know, very specific metrics that you can see, and it shows you how many thousand.
Just a moment.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Well, the objection is sustained.
Do you make your buy?
Hold on. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, next question.
Do you make buying decisions? So don't tell me what the numbers are, but does Google make representations to you and other people about number of
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt, Ken, but same objection if we're talking about Google's representations.
Response?
I can ask a foundational question. I'll withdraw the question. Do you make buying decisions based on what Google tells you about circulation?
Correct.
Okay. And so you make financial decisions based on the number of eyes, without telling me the number, don't tell me the number of eyes that Google says are going to see your television advertisement?
We want as many as possible, correct.
And you want the most eyes, the most cost-effective advertising you can buy. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need. Were you the one that placed the product on the 2.5 Men television show?
I did not do it personally.
Who did you have do it?
I believe Wendy has a contact, or Kim. I thought it was Wendy who has a contact with somebody at the studios who helped us place that there.
Did you watch it?
I saw a photo snippet of it, a printed copy of it.
And who provided that to you?
That I don't remember.
All right. Do you also advertise on radio?
Correct.
How long have you been advertising in radio?
I think we started in radio in 2007.
And how do you buy? What geographic markets have you advertised on the radio in?
We try to do a city-by-city basis. We didn't quite have the money just to shotgun out the entire country, so we would do cities in Atlanta. We would do cities in Texas. We would do St. Louis, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and others. And
is Exhibit 531, which is on a disc, unfortunately, in your notebook and in the exhibits, is that a radio ad?
Should I look at 531?
Have you heard a radio ad recently?
Yes, I have.
And, Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 531 into evidence and play it.
Your Honor, we have an objection. Just same sort of thing with the video, in terms of the disc going out to the jury and whether or not it's an exhibit that can be published. I don't know if I'm being published in the room, but.
All right. This is an audio of a radio ad.
Correct, Your Honor.
Right. The audio may be played. It is not yet clear whether the jury will have this in their deliberations.
That was a long commercial.
That was a 60-second commercial.
All right, and you also have 30-second ones?
We have 30s and we also have 15 seconds.
Later I'll take my loss for not finding a 30-second one.
Tell me what the exhibit number was on that.
Exhibit 531.
Got it, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Kaya, how do you go about buying radio time? In the financial transaction?
I try to look at, I'm shooting for 1 million sets of ears. So in a market like New York, that may only be 4 or 5 days if we're looking for that market. But in a market like St. Louis, it may be 2 weeks. So we try to run for whatever time that takes to get around that number.
And you mentioned Pandora. What's that again?
Pandora is a sort of user-assisted radio. I think most people have heard of Pandora, but if you choose Elton John, it will play other music similar to Elton John. We've advertised on Pandora.
All right, and can you take a look at Exhibit 505? And what is Exhibit 505?
That is a proposal from Clear Channel on one of our radio advertising campaigns in Los Angeles.
All right, so, and is it a proposal that you acted upon?
I believe so.
And Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 505 into evidence.
Objection, Your Honor. We have a hearsay and relevance objection. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. And the objection is? There's a proposal on the document already. It doesn't show the spots that are actually running.
Are you claiming the spots actually ran?
It's not for the purpose of showing the spots actually ran, but the kinds of contracts they would enter into, yes.
Objections overruled. 505 is admitted.
All right, and I'm told by, and probably everybody that me realized that I called Exhibit 478 earlier, which is the transactional listing of financial transactions, Exhibit 178 from time to time, so for the record, my reference to 178 was in error. Now, Mr. Kaya, did Mix Chicks also buy some advertising in Times Square?
Yes, we did.
And what'd you buy?
Bought a digital billboard in Times Square.
And can you take a look at Exhibits 776 and 777?
I don't have 776 in my book. Or 777.
Britt Truong?
Or you can put it on the screen, whatever you like.
You can switch it out.
Will there be any objections to 76 and 77?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you move their admission?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, 776 and 777 are in evidence, and we may publish them. Thank you, counsel. Mr. Lee.
All right, Mr. Kaya, what this is, Exhibit 776, what's that?
Tim and Wendy's face on Times Square.
All right, and that looks like a curved billboard?
Yeah, it's called the G-Tron. It's curved, and our advertising actually ran on this side, and then also as you approach from the other angle, there's a smaller billboard. And it's a 30-second billboard that runs on a continuous loop, 24/7. It's also shared with other advertisers, but our ad ran 24/7 for approximately 3 months.
All right, and I 24/7, something I said in my opening, but it doesn't play all the time, does it?
No.
It loops.
It loops.
Okay. So how often does it loop?
I believe it plays at least twice per hour.
Right. And how long? What length of time did that happen? Weeks, months?
For 3 months. And it happened from around It was in the winter months all the way through, I believe, New Year's.
All right, and let's take a look at 777. Is that the other side of the billboard?
Yeah, that's the other angle with the hair with our main product.
All right, and you're the one that actually, we looked at some billboards. I'm not going to put up the actual, by billboards, I mean the kinds that are on the sides of roads, except in Irvine. Do you actually pay for the placement of those?
Yes.
And so what geographic areas do you place those? How do you place those billboards in?
We put our billboards all around the nation. We've done Arizona, North and Southern California. We've done St. Louis. We've done, we did not do St. Louis. We did Texas. We've done Florida, and on the border between California and Las Vegas.
And you've done some other types of advertising. If you could look at Exhibit 778.
78.
Yep.
I don't have that one.
And I'd like to move Exhibit 778 today.
Any objection?
No, you're on.
It's submitted, thank you.
Let's put 778 up. I do apologize for that. What's 778?
That is our scooter billboards. We did those in New York and also Las Vegas. Guys ride around scooters in the city and pass out products when they stop and ride around again. And that goes on for a few days at a time. It's really good in congested areas where there's a lot of foot traffic and a lot of stop and go traffic.
And what about other advertisements? Have you done coffee cup insulators, for example?
Yeah, we do the coffee cup sleeves. We have a company that will actually create a little coffee cup sleeve that will go around your hot cup of coffee. We'll deliver maybe 50,000 of those to an area around Los Angeles or Minneapolis. And so when you get your coffee, you'll have Kim and Wendy's face staring at you, and you can read about our product and our whole history.
Can you take a look at Exhibit 516? I'd like to move 516 into evidence, Ron. Just page 1. No objection.
516 submitted.
Put up. Okay. What is 516?
516 is our coffee cup sleeve. It has the image of Kim and Wendy, our products, including the liter-sized products, and also a little story about how and when we started.
All right, and so those go around the coffee cups?
Correct.
And let's talk about, I've got to review some financial information with you. Sorry, 1 second. Take a look at Exhibits 560 through 565. What are those?
Those are our profit and loss statements for 2006. Looks to be 2006 through 2010. I'm sorry, 2011.
Okay, so 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011.
Correct.
All right, and I'd like to move Exhibits 560 through 565 into evidence, Sean.
No objection.
And what about 566 through 71? What are those?
That's a detailed profit and loss over the same time through 2011, and it also has it broken down by month.
All right, and are they, I'd like to move 566 through 571 into evidence, Sean.
No objection,
And what about Exhibit 605 and 606?
605 is a profit and loss for January through March of 2012, and then 606 is the detailed profit and loss through 2012 March.
I'd like to move 605 and 606 into evidence.
No objection,
And then Exhibit 773, what is that?
sales by item summary from January of this year through September of this year.
So, January through September 2012?
Right.
I'd like to move Exhibit 773 to Evan Truong.
Objection is submitted.
All right. Now, Mr. Kaya, have you reviewed a couple of charts that have been put together, in particular right now I'm focused on one that reflects advertising and promotional expense?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'd like to put the demonstrative chart of advertising expenses up. Let's put the advertising slide up, please. And what's depicted on this chart, Mr. Kaya?
It's our advertising and promotional expenditures from 2006 through 2011.
And let's just focus on 2006 through 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can grab those, please, Mr. Vaughn. All right, so you spent $5,780 on advertising and promotional in 2006.
Right.
Right, and then $61,000 the next year.
Right.
114 the year after that.
Yes.
And then at the end of that last year, in late 2008, that's when Mixed Chicks moved into a warehouse.
Yes.
All right, let's grab 2009 and 2009, 2010. So up to 292 in 2009, 619,000 in 2010, correct?
That's correct.
All right, let's take a look also at a chart that, have you helped prepare a chart that shows sales through 2006 to 2010?
Yes, I have.
All right, let's look at that chart, the sales only through 2006 and 2010. Now, let's again grab 2006 and 2007, Mr. Long. All right, so, and by the way, you did have some financial transactions in 04 and 05, correct?
Yes, we did.
Why do you have P&L reports for 2006 but not 05 and 04?
As the company started becoming successful, we just took our financing a little bit more serious, and we expanded our use of our QuickBooks system.
All right, and so 2006 is the first year you think you've got something that's reliable.
Correct.
Did you make less in 05 than you did in 06?
Yes, considerably less.
All right, so you had 108,000 in sales in 2006, correct?
Yes.
And 562,000 roughly in 2007?
Correct.
All right, let's grab 2008 and 2009. 1.3 million in 2008?
Yes.
And then 2.9 in 2009?
Correct.
Correct? All right, and then in 2010, you had approximately $5.2 million in sales, not profits, but sales.
Yes.
All right. Now, at the end of 2010, did you sit down and contemplate what your 2011 looked like in terms of sales?
Yes, I did.
And is that something that you do every year, or at least you've done every year for the past few years?
Yeah, we do it. We talk about it all the time.
All right, and who would we be?
Myself and Ken and Wendy.
All right, and do you do any kind of formal business projection?
We don't do anything in writing. Since there's only 3 of us that are the principals, we're not a huge, big business. We do a lot of conversations, and we look at these numbers and talk about them regularly.
And do you hire any outside services like business analysts or consultants or anything like that to help you predict future growth at this point?
No, not at this point.
And had you made, when you sat down to do this noodling process, and let me back up, you testified earlier, I believe, that you base expenditures on advertising in some part based on revenue. Is that fair?
Yeah, correct.
Is it scaled to some extent on what you expect the revenue to be?
Yeah, again, I think I said that we try to keep it between 5 and 15%. And every month we'll look and see how we're doing, or every quarter we'll see how we're doing, and we decide how much we're going to spend in the upcoming weeks or months, and toggle it back and forth depending on what we expect.
And what did you believe, and what number did you bounce around with with Ms. Levy and Ms. Kaya about what Mixed Chicks expected to make in 2011?
Ms. Levy-Kai and Ms. Etheridge.
I apologize, Ms. Etheridge and Ms. Levy.
I really thought that we could hit $10 million, judging by our past sales. I talked to Kim, I talked to Wendy, and we decided to conservatively estimate $8 million in sales for 2011.
All right, and that was a number that you had in your head prior to February 1st, 2011?
Correct.
Did you make your advertising decisions based on that?
Yes.
Projection, $8 to $10 million?
Yes.
And what number did you actually hit in 2011 approximately?
I believe we hit 6.2, somewhere around there. I don't have the exact figure in my head, but that is very close.
Was that a surprise to you?
Yes, I thought we were going to, again, I felt in my heart we'd get 10. We shot for 8. We thought that was very achievable.
And what factor or factors led to that target miss in your view?
I believe the Sally's introduction hindered our sales.
Why do you believe that?
Well, leading up to that, there was we were growing like crazy. The economy for the last 5 years, from 2006, was not good, and we were still growing, so it wasn't that. People were very excited about our product. They were very passionate about our product. Our sales were growing like crazy, and it seemed logical that we would continue that growth for that year.
Have you thought about whether any other factors that you hadn't thought about at the beginning of 2011 impacted your sales in 2011, other than mixed soap, which you already mentioned?
No.
And is that an issue, by the way, that you've given some deep consideration to, whether there are other factors that would have skewed your sales in the wrong direction?
Yes.
All right. Now, stating the obvious, the number that you gave, which is a $6 million plus number, is a higher number than you made in 2010 in sales, right?
Correct.
Right. And why is it that you thought that the $8 to $10 million, which would be even more sales, was something that was reasonable for you at the time?
Again, we had been growing like crazy. We had, I believe, 1,800 doors or so, beauty supplies and salons selling our product. But we know that there's 8,000 beauty supplies out there, minimum, out in the United States. There's another, some people say it might be 200,000 or more salons. So we felt like we could continue to grow into those doors.
Now, in 2011, you made a post on Twitter that drew some heavy, or not heavy, but some backlash. Is that fair?
Correct.
Can you describe to the jury what Twitter is?
Twitter, if you don't know, is an online forum where you can post thoughts about your life, your wife, your house, your business, or whatever. And people who follow you can find out what you're doing. You only have 144 characters to do it, but you can say whatever you want, and people know what's going on. It's been a way to update people about your life.
And does Mixed Chicks have a Twitter account?
Yes, we do.
And how do you send a tweet to any particular group on Twitter?
Okay, there's groups within the Twitter sphere where you can use a little hashtag, the number sign, and the group could be hashtag San Diego Chargers or Baltimore Ravens or whatever, and people tweet in those groups about what's going on with those particular issues or groups or whatever you do. I was tweeting to different groups at different times. I would tweet, say 10% on Mixed Chicks for 2 days if you use a code. I would tweet, try Mixed Chicks on your curls, and I was hitting teams, and there were teams. By teams, I mean there was Team Frizzy, Team Natural, Team Curly. One of the teams I tweeted was Team Light Skin. Team Light Skin, I said, hope you try.
Let me stop you there. What is tweet them?
I tweeted to them, I said, Team Light Skin, hope you try Mixed Chicks on your curls. And that drew a bit of a backlash because what I didn't know at the time, that there was also a Team Dark Skin. And they were evidently feuding back and forth within the Twitter world. There had been some form of a club in Ohio, a nightclub, that somebody decided that they were going to promote it by having Team Light Skin and Team Dark Skin on Twitter. And I stepped into it by accident, caused a little bit of fire.
All right, and when you say fire, what do you mean?
There was backlash. People were upset, and people said something to the effect of, you're assuming that all light-skinned people have curly hair. I responded with an apology. I said, Mixed Chicks realizes skin color has nothing to do with hair texture. Light people can have curly hair, white people can have curly hair, dark people can have straight hair, and everything in between. So we still did get some emails, there were some blog posts, lasted for a few weeks and then died down.
And did that hurt your sales?
No.
What did it do to your sales in the weeks following the Twitter post?
Actually, in the immediate future right after that, our sales and website visits actually went up. I've heard people say any publicity is good publicity. It's not the type of publicity we wanted. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but it did get a lot of attention and made our sales go up.
Are you allowed to tweet on behalf of Mixed Chicks anymore?
I no longer tweet. We turned that over to our PR department.
All right. Let's talk about some competitors in the marketplace. Were there any entrants into the marketplace other than Mixed Silk that you believe could have impacted the pace of your sales growth at Mixed Chicks?
No. At the time, since 2006, we've had several people that I would consider competitors, and they've been there right along with us while we were growing.
And by the way, do you and Ms. Etheridge and Ms. Levy always agree on the way you define competitors?
No, we don't.
All right. And have you heard of Ms. Jessie?
Yes.
And do you personally consider Ms. Jessie a competitor?
I personally consider Ms. Jessie a competitor.
When did they come on the market?
They were on the market, I believe, a little bit before we were on the market.
And what about, and did Ms. Jessie do anything in 2011 that would skew your sales in one way or the other?
Not that I know.
Who do you personally, and I'm asking for your personal opinion, consider your biggest competitor other than Mixed Silk?
Well, in the overall scheme of things, I could say L'Oreal is a competitor. They sell hair products. John Frieda Frizzies has sold products for frizzy hair. Our products are for frizzy hair. But there's direct competition that I would say is Miss Jessie's. There's Weedad, there's Curls. There's a product called Blended Beauty out there in Canada. They attack the multiracial market. I would say that's our most direct competition.
The products that you just named, did any of them come on the market prior or after January 1st, 2010?
No.
Did any of the brands that you just named, the companies, do anything of any kind in 2011 or 2012 to skew your sales in one direction or the other?
No, not that I know.
All right. There's a product out there called Mixed Roots. Are you familiar with that product?
Yes.
How widely distributed is that product?
Very small.
Now, there have been times in your, since 2006, between 2006 and the end of 2010, when the products that you might consider competitors have done something or come onto the market that might or might not impact your sales. Is that fair? That's a horrible question.
It's just when you say that the question true, or it's better that they come on and in fact, how much longer was this one?
About 2 minutes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to, maybe a little longer than 2, but not much. Were you involved in the decision to bring this lawsuit?
Yes, I was.
Why did you personally agree with the decision to bring this lawsuit?
I felt we had to do it.
Why?
Well, we were the first company, like I said, to say something about mixed anything in the name of the product. Mixed Chicks came out. We did a lot of hard work. We spent our money. We all stopped our other jobs. We worked out of the house. We had our kitchen full of boxes. We made some sacrifices for time and for money, and this is our little child. And we got to the point when we're not big, but we're growing. And then Sally's comes along and they make a product that, in my opinion, looks to be in the family of our products. And frankly, they just, they ripped us off. And they call it fair, but I don't call it fair. If it looked different, the name was different, or both, maybe I call it fair, but when I make a product that looks like something I would design also, I just find that unfair. So we felt like we had to stand up to them.
There's a price point difference between mixed chicks and mixed silk. You're aware of that price point difference?
Yes.
Why did you start, but you're still concerned about the similarities between the products?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, why are you still concerned about the similarities of the products given the price point difference?
Well, the price point difference to me hurts us, and it hurts us in a couple different ways. Okay, I think there's the direct confusion where people go online and they search for curly hair products, or they search for mixed chicks and they see Kim and Wendy's face. Maybe they do a Google image search. They see Kim and Wendy's face, they see mixed chicks, and they may see mixed silk also. They walk into a Sally's and they purchase the product. They might be confused. Now there's also the, what I would call like a sponsorship kind of a situation where a lot of people know that you would sell a product in Trader Joe's and Trader Joe's puts their name on it, or Safeway puts their name on it, or Albertsons puts their name on a product that they don't manufacture, but they have a deal with a manufacturer. And there's going to be some people who may assume that Mixed Chicks has made a deal with Sally's. And there's some of our retailers who I don't believe we're going to be able to convince them that we haven't made some form of a deal when the product looks this close. And then there's also what I would call like an indirect confusion in that if I walk into a store.
The objection is?
Basically, this guy is testifying as an expert. He's defining different types of confusion that you would characterize as speculation that exists in the marketplace by what's happening.
Response from the senator?
Those have been his concerns from the beginning, Your Honor. It's not an expert opinion. It's been...
Just a moment. So the question was, why are you concerned why are you so concerned about the similarities? And he's responding to that, and your objection is?
Yes, sir. I understand Mr. Ty's concern, but he kind of got way off the reservation there, speculating what consumers may or may not do, what they may think. It appears that they may draw inferences they may draw, and, you know, Mr. Ty, of course, entitled to testify to his concerns, but he got well beyond that, Your Honor, and so Mr. Ty seemed to continue.
Okay, the objection's overruled, you may continue. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you remember where you were? Don't repeat yourself, do you remember where you were?
The last bit of confusion I was talking about is, and I've made this mistake myself with other products, is that I believe that somebody might go into a Sally's beauty supply store and buy mixed silk. And whether they get it in their hand or they get to the counter, they may have mixed chicks in our advertising. They've seen us, they've seen our ads, they've seen Kim and Wendy's faces somewhere. They go up to the product and maybe they realize it's not the same product, but they picked it up because they thought it might be our product. Or maybe they get home and their daughter says, Dad, that's not mixed chicks, that's mixed silk. But he says, hey, we already bought it. It was only $5, but give it a shot. So perhaps they realize.
I think you've identified that concern. Are there other concerns?
Okay, thank you.
I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. All right, so we'll take a break. We'll see everybody in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Back in 15 minutes, folks? Okay. See you then.
How's it going? Good to see you. Is Curls the John Frieda product, or is it its own brand? Do you know? Did you find that brand Curls?
What?
Did you see anything written for Curls? The brand Curls? I'm wondering if it's C-U-R-L-Z. No, he's just naming those brands. I'll have to ask him. Curl.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I couldn't find anything online. There's like a million things. Brand. Because I found, like, I know that I'm familiar with the Frizzies one, but.
But you're asking the person with the world's straightest hair? Like, how?
I'm like.
The person that curls their hair every single morning? All right? Seated and come to order. The court is again in session.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you. Like everyone else, I've got a couple of binders of exhibits to speed up the process. I'd like to approach Your Honor and the witness.
Okay. Okay.
That's not all of them, Your Honor. That's some. I will be referring to some that Mr. Parker showed Mr. Kaya. So that's just some of the extras, again, to help speed up the process.
Okay.
If I may, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Kaya.
Good afternoon.
Do you want to ask you follow up with some questions that Mr. Parker started, if I could? Now, I understand that you, when you testified earlier, you discussed you believe there was some risk in adopting a name like Mixed Chicks that had the connotation of the word mixed. Is that right?
That's right.
And in fact, you and Mixed Chicks were criticized by some people in the industry and elsewhere for using a term like that. Is that right?
There were a couple of times we were criticized.
Some people believe that to be a pejorative term, potentially, for mixed-race individuals.
We didn't.
Other people do, however.
A few do, yes.
Now, when you were, I believe, I think you testified you assisted your wife, Ms. Etheridge, on helping develop the products. I believe you said they had the lead role and you offered feedback and some comments and assistance as needed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, you otherwise yourself do not have any formal experience or training in developing or manufacturing hair care products?
No.
You also don't have any formal training or experience or education dealing with advertising or marketing, do you?
Could you qualify formal?
College training or college classes, coursework?
In economics, you're forced to take a certain amount of courses that are somewhat related.
Did you have any practical work experience in advertising or marketing before you began in that role with Mixed Chicks?
Practical experience, yes.
Describe that experience briefly.
When you're doing movies, you do have some input into what might go into a promo, how your movie will be perceived. We do focus groups when a movie is shown, and we give feedback and change the script accordingly.
But not any for hair care products?
No.
Now, I understand that the target demographic for customers of Mixed Chicks products are mixed-race women, correct?
Correct.
However, you also target men and actually anyone with curly hair. Is that fair? A fair statement?
We do have a men's line, and people with curly hair do use our products, yes.
You all have not conducted any studies or otherwise done any formal research to determine the actual percentage of Mixed Chicks customers who are of mixed race, have you?
Did you say formal research?
Yes.
No.
You haven't collected any demographic information for your customer group?
I've at times looked to see what the amount of people who identify themselves as biracial, and if it's a market that's growing, we do pay attention to those numbers. We haven't done anything formal.
Just been your monitoring your business and otherwise seeing how people are receptive to your business in the marketplace. Is that fair?
That's part of it.
Now, I believe you testified a little while ago about doing some advertising using Google AdWords. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you still doing that practice today?
Yes.
When did you start using or purchasing Google AdWords?
Around 2005.
Can you briefly tell me some of the AdWords that you purchased?
Thousands of them. Curly hair, mixed chicks, mixed race, biracial hair, quite a few.
You also purchased a Google AdWord for one of your competitors' curls, isn't that right, at one point?
There was a time when Curls was using our AdWords on her website and also purchasing mixed chicks for her. And I felt if two can play that game, we would too. I stopped doing that after a few weeks because I felt it just wasn't right to do, even though it was hard to advertise without using the word curls because we have a product for curls.
So for a time, you intentionally purchased the curls trademark for use as an AdWord so that when consumers put that into Google, they would come up with your website. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'd like to...
How do you spell that, curls?
C-U-R-L-S. I would like to talk briefly, if I could, Mr. Kyle, about some of the other advertising that you all have done. And Mr. Parker, I know, showed you a lot of that advertising. We're going to go through some of that here briefly in just a second. I believe you testified that you all, I think your testimony was, Mixed Chicks had conducted over $1 million in advertising since its inception. Is that a correct statement?
I believe it was advertising and marketing in general.
Do you know how much of that has occurred after January 2011?
I don't know the exact numbers.
I want to show you, if I can, what's previously been admitted as Exhibit 492. If you put that up for me, please.
Is this in your book?
Actually, it should be in the big binder in front of you. Do not believe it's in my book. Unless, is it in, are all of your exhibits in your binder? It is in the binder, yes. Okay. It's going to be in the binder Mr. Parker gave you.
You did say 492, correct?
Yes, sir. Would you blow that? So I believe you testified this is one of the banner ads that you use. Are you still using this today?
I believe that one is occasionally used today.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, this is an advertisement that includes the smaller retail size products that you all sell?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe in this picture, we actually do have a picture of your wife smiling. Both your wife and Miss Etheridge are smiling in this photograph, correct?
Correct.
Now I want to show you some other banner advertisements as I understand them. Now this will be in the binder I showed you, or I gave you, Mr. Kaya. If I could direct your attention to Exhibit 485.
Okay.
Now is Exhibit 485 another Mixed Chicks banner advertisements?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to admit Exhibit 485 in evidence.
Without objection, it's admitted.
Okay, Mr. Kai, now this is another banner advertisement. Do you know if this is currently being used?
I don't believe this one is currently being used.
Do you know when it was used?
It was used sometime around 2008, sometime in there. We've used it not as often as we use the ones with Kim and Wendy.
This is an advertisement that shows, I believe this is a picture we've seen several times already of 3 models that you all have used in numerous of your advertisements. Is that correct?
Again, it's not as many as Kim and Wendy. I don't know if I would call it numerous.
We've seen it several times already. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And again, this is an advertisement just for the leave-in product?
Correct.
It does not show the back bar size products?
Correct.
I want to refer you, sir, if I could, to Exhibit 486, and that would be in the binder, hopefully right behind 485.
You move its admission?
Yes, Your Honor.
Without objection, it's admitted.
Now, blow that up, Garrett, please. Thank you. 486. Are you ready? Anyway, wait.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. So is this also another banner advertisement the company has used?
Yes.
Is the company still currently using this?
No.
When approximately did the company use this?
I don't remember the exact date. This was, I think we did this specifically for one campaign with World Star Hip Hop. It was a banner ad. I wanted to get the whole naturally curly wording out into the world.
And this actually ad doesn't show any products, is correct?
Correct. Well, you know what? This may be a snippet of a rotating or sort of a dynamic banner, so I believe that it would rotate into the products. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive.
And these three models, again, we've seen these models before. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, 487 should be next, Mr. Kai.
Move its submission?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Without objection, it's admitted.
Mr. Kai, is this another banner advertisement used by the company?
Correct?
And this banner advertisement actually has no models, as we can see, right?
Yes.
And it also does not advertise the back bar 1 liter size bottles?
Correct?
If I could direct you to Exhibit 519, which hopefully is in Mr. Parker's binder. Maybe in mine as well, actually. I think it's already into evidence, though.
And it is admitted.
Yes, sir. 519, again, this is actually, again, the conglomeration of the two sets of models that we've seen with the banner ads that we talked about, or you talked about earlier with Mr. Parker, correct?
Are you asking me if this is a banner ad?
No, this is just an ad that uses the same models as those banner advertisements. Is that correct?
Right.
And these are model images. Are these model images still being used today by the company?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to Exhibit 411, which I believe is in Mr. Parker's binder. It's also in mine as well. Now, Mr. Kai, this is an advertisement for the leave-in conditioner, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you testified this is one of the earlier ads the company ran?
Yes, it is.
Is the company still running this ad, to your knowledge?
No.
This ad doesn't advertise any of the back bar products, correct?
Correct.
And again, actually, picture of your wife smiling, isn't it? Correct?
Yes.
I could refer you to Exhibit 415, and that will be in Mr. Parker's binder and not mine. So I believe it's one of the advertorials you discussed with Mr. Parker.
Did you say 415?
Yes, sir. You blow up the... And again, for this advertorial, you're just promoting the leave-in conditioner in the 10-ounce size. Is that correct?
Yes.
And as an advertorial, it was a placed ad. The decision was to promote just this product, not any of the other products. Correct?
Correct.
Direct your attention to Exhibit 404. Should also be in Mr. Parker's binder. Same thing. Again, this is an advertorial where the decision was made just to promote the 10-ounce product and not the other products. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'd like to direct your attention to Exhibit 405, Mr. Kai. As opposed to an advertorial, this is actually just a placed advertisement, correct?
Correct.
And in this instance, do you recall when this advertisement was run?
Going off of the date on the book, it says May 2010.
Okay. This advertisement is actually promoting 4 products. It's the addition of, is that the hair soap product, sir?
Our leave-in, our shampoo, our deep, and yes, our hair soap.
And it does not include any of the 1-liter back bar products?
Right.
I believe this is the same picture we've looked at of both of your wife and Miss Etheridge, both smiling. Is that correct?
Not the same image,
Okay.
but it's a similar image.
Okay. I'm going to direct your attention to Exhibit 374, which will also be in Mr. Parker's binder. And what are the 4 products advertised here?
We have our shampoo, our hair silk, our leave-in, and our deep conditioner.
And I believe this was, the date on this is June 2011, is that correct?
Yes, that's the image I'm looking at.
And again, no back bar size bottles in this promotion?
Correct.
Direct your attention to Exhibit 374. Well, excuse me, that was 374. I apologize, Mr. Kaya. Exhibit 377. Do you know the date for this promotion?
No, I don't know the date on this one.
Does the exhibit, can you tell from the exhibit, does it have a date?
I don't see a date on it.
Now direct your attention to Exhibit 367, which again should also be in the binder in front of you. Now this promotion is dated June 2011 as well, correct?
Correct.
And again, no back bar, no 1 liter size product?
No.
I want to direct your attention to Exhibit 776, Mr. Kaya, which is actually, I think, in both our binders, so you can pick and choose where you find it. I believe this was the Times Square ad you testified to that ran on the loop. And I believe you testified it ran during the winter months. You mentioned for 3 months, is that correct?
I'm sorry, I wasn't on the, can you repeat the question?
I apologize, Mr. Kaya, I'll slow down. Get ahead of myself sometimes. I understand that you earlier you testified this was the Times Square ad that Mixed Chicks ran, that ran on a loop for 3 months in Times Square, is that right?
Yes.
I believe you testified it aired or ran for approximately 3 months, is that right?
Right.
Now you described, I believe, during the winter months, do you remember what year that was?
2009, I believe.
So as I understand it, it's sort of a V advertisement where there's a point, but there's ads running on either sides of the V. Is that a generally accurate description?
See it from both sides of the street.
So Exhibit 776 is a picture of your wife, Miss Etheridge, just the 2 of them with the Curly Revolution slogan, but no product. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. Can I
Sure.
qualify it? This banner ad is dynamic, so it rolls. It's a 30-second advertisement. It's not quite a commercial, but that picture comes up. It folds to another image of the products. It folds to another image of Control Frizz, comes back to their picture. So it's an ad that runs on a 30-second loop. So you're seeing one frame of the whole 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, let me direct you to Exhibit 777, if I could. Is that another frame of the same advertisement, or is that a different advertisements is running with different frames?
Now that I think about it, we may have had 2 commercials. They were slightly different, but all of them had products in both ads from both sides. So it could be the same one.
So Exhibit 777, however, is showing the 4 product, one each of the retail size of your leave-in, deep, and shampoo, and then the hair soak, right? It's in this frame.
Correct.
And it appears to have, it seems to be superimposed over a washed image, if you will, of the 6 model picture that we've seen today, right?
Their image shows up right before Kim and Wendy's.
Okay. So for Exhibit 777 and 776, these are the only 2 images we have or we've seen that show any images from this Times Square advertisement. Is that correct?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. These 2 exhibits, 776 and 777, both show images of what you believe may be the scrolling advertisement, correct?
It is the scrolling advertisement.
But these 2 pictures are the only 2 pictures we've seen today from this advertisement.
It is one part of it showing that our ad ran for 30 seconds every hour for 24/7, 3 months.
Now, flip the next exhibit, Exhibit 778, Mr. Kai. And I believe that these are the scooter ads you referenced earlier?
Correct.
Can you tell from these photographs what city these ads ran in?
I believe that's New York. If I'm wrong, it's Las Vegas. We did both.
I was wondering about the Florida license plate on the trailer. I didn't know if that had anything to do with it.
They moved the trailers around. We may have done Florida. I can't remember all the cities that we did this in.
And approximately when was this promotion being done?
I don't recall the exact dates.
Do you have an approximation by year?
I would say 2010.
And again, it's the 4 products with the hair silk and the same group model picture we've seen, correct?
The shampoo, the leave-in, the deep, and the hair silk.
Give me just a second, Mr. Kai. Now, you testified earlier to this, I believe you described as a Twitter incident or a Twitter problem you had with various groups who misunderstood your intentions with a tweet. Is that correct?
It was actually 2 groups.
And you said the company received some not flattering or unfavorable blog posts and other Twitter messages and emails after this incident, correct?
Mixed in with the positive ones supporting us about the incident, yes.
People still criticized you in the company, correct?
Still?
You said you received some positive feedback. I said despite the positive feedback, you were still criticized and the company was still criticized for that incident, correct?
By a few people, correct.
Now, Mr. Kai, I want to ask you about some of the advertising expense issues and sales issues you talked about with Mr. Parker. Now, I understand you said you usually peg what you think your advertising spend is going to be at approximately 10 to 15% in terms of advertising expense as opposed to your projected, what you believe your sales will be. Is that right?
Yes.
And you don't employ any accountants or other marketing agencies or advertising agencies to help you develop those sorts of spending plans?
We do use advertising agencies. and I may discuss with them what my budget might be in the upcoming years. So in that sense, yes, we do, a little bit.
But basically, it's you with your wife and Ms. Etheridge sitting down and deciding what to spend and when to spend it and on what. Is that fair?
That's how we've been doing it for a while.
Now, I believe you also talked about some sales forecasts or sales projections with Mr. Parker, right?
Yeah.
And I believe you testified at the end of 2010, you sat down, and I believe Mr. Parker may have described it as noodling, I think. You all sat down and came up with, you thought, what 2011 would look like, correct?
I don't remember the description of noodling, but we definitely have conversations about it.
And at the time, and we'll look at these financial statements a little more closely, do you recall that Mixed Chicks sales for 2010 approximated $5.19 million?
Correct.
So at that time, you sat down and looked at 2010 and said, maybe we'll do $8 to $10 million. Is that your testimony?
Not quite. I thought we could do $10 million. We conservatively estimated $8 million.
And that's based upon your sitting around with your partners, looking at your business and targeting or deciding it will come up, what you'll do the next year. Is that right?
Yes, we had meetings regarding that.
And you didn't put that to paper or otherwise develop any business plans, sales forecasts to map out how you would get there?
As I said before, since there's only 3 of us, we have a tendency to sit and talk through our plans and not actually do an official sales forecast that would normally be distributed to hundreds or thousands of employees.
I want to show you what's been marked as previously as Exhibit 564, and I believe it should be in Mr. Parker's binder. And if you can read this yourself, if you could blow up the top paragraph that shows, yes, down further, one more line. There you go, right, that's fine. So it shows Mixed Chicks total income at $5.19 million with a gross profit of $3.25 million. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you had those were the numbers in front of you when you sat down and were talking to your partners about what 2011 would look like?
I believe we talked about $5 million in 2010 and where we were headed in 2011, yes.
Okay. Could you go to Exhibit 565, Mr. Kaya, and highlight the same section of that? Please, Garrett. So I understand Exhibit 565 is your company's profit and loss statement for 2011, correct?
Correct.
And here we have, it shows income of $6.73 million with a profit of $4.63 million, is that correct?
Gross profit, yes.
Yes, sir. So over 2010, that's an increase of sales of approximately $1.6 million, right?
Right.
And I believe you testified that instead of having an increase of 1.6, you thought conservatively you would do 2.8 to maybe even, based upon your own thoughts, $4.8 million, right?
Does the math you're suggesting get us to $8 million?
2.8 would get you to 8, and the 4.8 would get you to 10, right?
Again, we thought we were shooting for 8 conservatively.
So it's your opinion that you did not reach that $8 million for various reasons, or for one reason, because of Sally Beauty, right?
Correct?
Do you know what Sally Beauty's actual sales were in 2011?
I don't have those numbers. I did hear someone from your side say something about $3 million yesterday. I don't know if that was sales to date or for what year or what time period.
Have you heard that Sally Beauty's sales for 2011 were approximately $1.9 million?
I have not heard that.
Now, I believe you testified you didn't think there's anything else out there that could have affected your projections other than Sally Beauty, right?
Yes.
And that's based upon your experience and knowledge of the market, correct?
Based on what we'd observed over the previous 6-7 years.
There could also be things that didn't come directly to your attention that could have affected your sales, right?
For instance?
Well, you said you were aware of what certain competitors were doing in the market. Potentially, were you aware, for example, of Shea Moisture, who I understand is one of your competitors, itself increasing its distribution into Walmart and other mass market retail in 2010, 2011?
What I know, Shea Moisture has been around for many, many years, maybe 15 plus. Am I right?
Were you aware, sir, of their increased distribution into places like Walgreens and Targets during 2010, 2011?
I'm not aware of when they went into Walgreens.
Now, if Sally Beauty sales Sally did not achieve $2.8 million in sales in 2011, obviously there's some other reason that Mixed Chicks did not meet its projections there would be some other reason other than Sally Beauty for Mixed Chicks not meeting its projections, right?
I'm sorry.
Hold on just a moment. Sustained rephrase.
Sure. Let me do that a little better, Your Honor. Okay, Mr. Kai, I understand that you believe you've put your lack of success, if you will, at Sally Beauty's feet for 2011, and according to your numbers, you missed your projections by approximately $2.8 million. Is that correct? 2.8 million dollars. Is that correct?
That's the gap from 8 to our sales, yes. That's correct.
Assuming that Sally Beauty did not do $2.8 million in sales, then there would have to be some other reason, some other factor, some other influence that affected your business during 2011, right?
That's not actually correct. I assume there's going to be expert witnesses from the financial side, but our price points are quite different, so our sales revenues would be different than Sally's sales revenues. I don't think there's an exact correlation, and I can't testify to that. That's a financial thing.
Well, like you said, there's not an exact correlation between the parties' sales, right?
It actually should go the other way because our price point is higher.
Now, Sally Beauty, just as a distributor, is a competitor of Mixed Chicks, correct?
No, Mixed Silk is a competitor. I wouldn't say Sally Beauty is a competitor.
But Sally Beauty sells the product, correct?
Correct.
Now, you would agree with me that not all sales of Sally Beauty of its Mixed Silk product would be a result of any would be a result of any of this confusion that you believe happened out there, right?
Did you say that all sales?
Correct.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Sure. You'd agree with me that not all of the sales that Sally Beauty may have made in 2011 or 2012 were a result of any of this confusion that you believe existed or still exists.
Calls for speculation and expert opinion.
Calls for speculation and an expert opinion. Sorry, my mic was off.
Overruled in response to the direct. You may answer if you can.
I believe that a good portion of our sales were hurt by mixed silk.
I understand, sir. Let me be a little more specific, and my question, honestly, was not very good. Let me see if I can be more specific. My question, though, relates to Sally Beauty sales. And you would agree with me that not all of Sally Beauty sales were a result of any alleged confusion that you believe may have existed between the mixed silk and mixed chicks products.
I'm trying to be respectful also, but I have to say that without mixed chicks, there would be no mixed silk. You couldn't do it.
So is it your testimony today that all sales made by Sally Beauty, or you believe a result of this confusion that you believe that's out there?
Same objection, Your Honor. Calls for expert opinion and speculative.
Overruled.
I would say that some of the sales are a result of mixed chicks. I don't know how many.
So necessarily then other sales that Sally...
You mean some of the lost sales? Wait, what did you say?
Yes, I'm referring to the sales of mixed silk, Your Honor, and whether or not...
No, his answer was... Just a moment. All right, go ahead.
We try this again, Mr. Kai, and I apologize. It's getting late in the day for both of us, and I understand that. Not all of Sally Beauty's sales of its mixed silk product are a result of any confusion with mixed chicks. Correct? Yes?
Not all of them.
Thank you. Now, I believe you testified earlier about some of the various competitors that you believe that Mixed Chicks has out there on the market, right?
Yes.
And I think you said there's some maybe fun disagreement between you and your partners as to what constitutes a competitor at what particular time for what particular purposes. Is that right?
Correct.
But generally speaking, new competitors for the multicultural hair market are coming onto the market every day. Is that right?
I don't know about every day.
Continually coming on the market on a periodic basis.
There have been several on a periodic basis in the last year or two.
And it's a growing market because of that, right?
Are you saying the market is a growing market or the amount of products are growing?
That was a bad question, Mr. Kai. Thank you. You recognize there's a growing market for this product, and new competitors are coming into the market to take advantage of that growing market. Is that fair?
Compound, Your Honor. Sorry.
Also, Stan, also when you say, is that fair? You know, it can mean, is it fair that competitors come in, or is your description accurate?
I knew you were going to get me with that, Your Honor, after your warning, Mr. Stewart, this morning. I apologize.
Okay.
I believe you testified that it is a growing market out there, continually growing market for multicultural hair care products. Is that right?
Yes.
And I believe with that growing market, people are recognizing that and want to take advantage of it. So competitors are coming to the market with new products.
Some competitors that are direct and indirect.
Yes?
Yes.
Now, I believe in 2011, which we talked about this a few minutes ago, Mixed Chick sales were approximately $6.73 million. Is that right?
Yes.
At the time, that was the company's best year ever. Is that a fair statement?
That's our highest sales. I don't know about best.
Those were your highest sales?
Correct.
Also, your highest profits in any year, correct?
That was the highest gross profit
at the time.
at the time.
And in 2012, Mixed Chicks is continuing this upward trend of sales and profits, right?
We didn't continue the trend that we thought, but we are trending up.
Okay. Well, in 2012, I believe we testified earlier, or heard testimony about Target is a new distributor for Mixed Chicks products as of this summer, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I believe at some point in the future, your products will be in upwards of 700 Target stores?
We are going to expand, yes.
Do you know how many stores, Target stores, Mixed Chicks is in today? Of that 700, do you have an idea?
We're in 700 with some SKUs, we're in 300 with others, we're in less with others.
And I believe that's since May of 2012, May of this year.
I don't remember the exact date of when we rolled out.
And also in 2012, we now have the new Army-Navy exchange distribution channel. Is that right?
That's not correct. Can you answer that question again?
Sure. Trying to see some of the new distribution channels you have in 2012, and I thought I understood that the Army-Navy distribution chain that you're now in was also new in 2012.
Correct.
Now, if I could ask you to turn to Exhibit 773, if I could, Mr. Kai. It should be in Mr. Parker's binder. I'll have to admit, I apologize, Mr. Kai, the print on this document is very fine. As I understand it from your testimony earlier, this is a sales summary of January 1 through, I believe, September 12, 2012.
It's an item sales summary.
And if you go down, well, I'd like for you to tell me, and I believe this document shows it, if you can find it probably quicker than I can, what through this period of time, January 1 through September 12, 2012, it shows in terms of total sales for Mixed Chicks.
Can you blow that up larger?
Sure. If you go down, it's going to be on the bottom left. Go to the next page. Go to the bottom. Here we go on the bottom. I believe this is the second column, sir.
Correct.
Okay, and that number, I believe, looks like $5.91 million. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, these would be direct sales numbers, correct?
What do you mean by direct sales numbers?
Well, I understand there's also an internet sales channel that you keep separate records for. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Go to the next page. And would this be a record of the internet sales?
That is, I cannot see the time frame though on this.
Go to the bottom of the page. Go to the next page. There we go. And this would be the internet sales for that same time period, January 1 through September 12, 2012, correct?
Yes.
And that number, if I'm not mistaken, approximates $893,000 in that revenue to that channel.
That's right.
If we add those together, that's what we have year to date for Mixed Chicks?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, if I may approach, I'm going to undertake to do an exercise. I'd like to give Mr. Kai a calculator and then turn to the Elmo if I could. I want to calculate the numbers. Calculator. Now, Mr. Kai, as you can see, I spent a lot of time working on this demonstrative that Mr. Parker and I'm sure Mr. Stewart are laughing at me, but I want to go through some sales and profits numbers and determine some margin numbers, if I could, off of your sales and gross profits for 2012 to date, 2011, 2010. Okay?
Okay. Can I ask a question? Why do I have a calculator?
I can do the math, sir, but I'm not on the witness stand, and you are, sir.
Understood.
So I understand when we looked at Exhibit 564 with your profit and loss statement, if you could refer to that, sir, it should be in front of you, or in the binder in front of you. Now, we believe we talked about this a few minutes ago, but we discussed the sales for 2010 were $5.19 million. Is that correct?
Okay.
Keep track here. And then for profits in 2010, we had $3.28 million. Is that right, according to that exhibit?
Okay.
Is that right, sir? On Exhibit 564?
Yes.
Okay, so 3.28. So if we could you divide for me on the calculator, divide 3.28 million by 5.19 million and determine the gross profit margin for 2010 for mixed chicks?
I get a factor of 0.63.
That would be 63%. Is that a fair statement? Or is that an accurate statement?
Correct.
Okay. I want to go to 2011 if we can, so that means we need to turn to Exhibit 565. Now, turning at 565, I believe we discussed a few minutes ago that we had $6.73 million in sales. Is that correct?
Correct.
I just want to say that's a permanent pen.
I put several pieces of paper.
There you go. Good for you.
I thought ahead after I bled all over copies of my earlier exhibits.
And bleed down and you'll be defacing U.S. government property.
And the mouse will get me downstairs, sir. I know that. And just to make sure we're all more comfortable, I'm even adding more paper.
I can see a clean patent there, so we're all right.
And we'll do an inspection afterwards, sir, and I'll leave a credit card if I have to. So now, for profits for 2011, I believe we discussed a few minutes ago, they were $4.6 million. Is that correct? According to Exhibit 565?
Correct.
What was the next decimal or next number? 4.6 what, sir?
32.
0.63, is that right?
Correct.
Let's determine, if we can, the profit margin for 2011. So dividing 4.63 by 6.73.
I get 0.687.
We won't round down or up. We'll just keep this simple. So it'd be 68%, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, of course, I want to try this exercise for 2012, but it'll need a little more work, of course, because I know our numbers are not completely annualized year to date. Correct?
The report's not correct. It's not done.
Okay. So I'd like, if we could, looking at Exhibit 773, and we looked at the two separate reports. We had the direct sales report, as I would describe it, and so you can describe it any way you'd like it. That's the way I'll describe it. And then the internet sales reports. I want to add those two numbers together to get the year-to-date total sales number, if we could do that.
Okay.
Could you do that for me, please, using Exhibit 773?
You want to call them out to me while I press the buttons?
Sure. Give me just a second, Mr. Kai. And you are going to test my eyesight. So again, I read Exhibit 773 to have 5.91 million. Well, we'll do the full number just because we're going to do an annualized number. We'll be fair. So let's start over. Let's do the full number. We'll do $5,914,212. And turning to the...
Do it again, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem at all.
Got a very small calculator.
I got you. 5,914,212. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to add to that the internet sales numbers at 593,973.
Okay.
Where are we, sir?
We're at 6.508.
What did I say? I said 593.
Oh, Mr. Parker, thank you, sir. I misstated a number. My number is off. That's what I get for reading it wrong. We need to go back and start this over to Mr. Kai. I apologize.
I'm ready.
Let me ask this. Have you already added the math?
I have, sir.
What total did you get for sales?
I got $6.8 million.
Change that 5 to an 8
You okay with that, Ken?
and make a representation to the witness that you've done this work for him.
Okay. Speeding it along.
Would you contest that number?
No.
You'll accept it as a ballpark?
Yes, I'll accept that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
In the effort for time, I do appreciate that. Okay. Now, that is, of course, only through September 12th, 2012, correct?
Correct.
And, of course, we still have approximately, at the time this was run, we still had almost 3 months left in the calendar year, right?
Correct.
And now, this is where the math gets a little more interesting, but I want to try to annualize that number if I could. Have you otherwise determined what, based today, or as of September 12th, what you believe your annualized sales would be for 2012? Have you done that math yourself?
I've not done that.
I could give you the number, sir, or we could...
Tell them that you've divided by 3 and multiplied by 4, and what number do you come up with?
$9.8 million, sir.
You understand the concept?
I'll accept that.
Well, actually, what I did, I did it by weeks because the weeks were a little off over a month. So I did 36 weeks with 16 weeks remaining, and I came up with $9.8 million.
The number you got.
Okay. Ken, do you want to catch up? Just make sure my math isn't wrong. Okay, that's correct. Thank you. So, I messed up my own demonstrative. Okay, so we came up with, on that number, an estimated annualized number of $9.8 million. Does that sound approximately where, that sound good? That sound right?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now we want to try to determine the profits, of course, what we think the estimated profits would be based on that annualized number. Now, sitting here today, do you have any reason to believe that your profit margins for 2012 will be materially different from 2010 or 2011?
It could be different. Again, I haven't done the numbers.
Okay. Any reason to believe a number in the range? Again, we looked at the last 2 years at 63% and 68%. Any reason to believe the range would be different than that, or by off more than a couple of points?
It could be different.
How far off do you think?
I haven't thought about it till this moment.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do for this exercise is we're just going to average the two numbers and come up with 65.5. Is that fair? You with
2010 and 2011, yes.
Now, if you could, with your calculator, if you could do using $9.8 million with a profit margin of 65.5%, what those profits would be for 2012 on an annualized basis.
Let me go 9.8 times 65%, correct?
Yes, sir. 65.5 if you, or 65 would be fine.
6.4.
6.4. So it's $6.4 million in profits, correct?
According to this, yes.
Okay. Now, sitting here today, have you I believe you tested, you haven't thought about those numbers yourself. You haven't projected yourself out that way. But do these numbers seem to be in the neighborhood of what the company will do this year based upon the business it's done thus far in 2012?
Objection, compound.
Rephrase it, please.
Sure. So we just did this exercise to determine on an annualized basis, given we're now over 9 months into the year, what your financial picture is going to look like. Based upon the estimates we come up with, do those estimates sound reasonable to you as you understand your business thus far in 2012?
Objection, compound, Your Honor.
I'm going to overrule it. You may answer it, sir.
According to these numbers, it looks like we're going to have $6.4 million in profit.
And my question to you, sir, Mr. Kai, is does that number sound reasonable to you as someone who is obviously closer to your financial situation than I am?
Sounds reasonable.
So if that holds, what you're looking at over the 2 years, 2011, 2012, from the 2010 numbers, you're looking at nearly doubling your sales. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
From 5.19 million to an estimated annualized number of 9.8, correct?
Correct.
And you're looking at almost, if not doubling your gross profits from $3.28 million to 6.4, correct?
Correct.
So that same 2-year period whereby you've nearly doubled your sales or may nearly double your sales and have doubled your profits is the same 2 years that Sally Beauty's been on the market with the mixed silk product. Is that correct?
Over 2 years, yes, that's correct.
You each second, Mr. Kai. Thank you for your time this afternoon, Mr. Kai. I'm finished.
All right. Redirect.
Should be on you. Thank you.
Mr. Kaya, let's talk about the chart. First of all, Mr. Lee was writing profits as a column label. Those weren't profits, were they?
Gross profits, I believe, is more accurate.
What's the difference between gross profits and net profits?
Expenses haven't been adjusted.
What kind of expenses?
The expenses could be, anything as part of the course of business.
All right, let's take a look at Exhibit 570.
Is that in evidence?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Let's just look at that left-hand column there, and we'll blow it up. So let's take it down halfway, Mr. Vaughn, just so we always have trouble with these screens. All right, let's go down to gross profit, Mr. Vaughn. There you go. All right, so there's a gross profit line, and then below that line is a heading called expense.
Correct.
Okay. What are some of the expenses in there?
Automobile, bank service, business gifts, janitorial, donations, employee benefits, equipment rental.
All right, and that's enough. And so these exhibits show all these expenses, and those expenses get taken out of the gross profit to lead to what's called the net ordinary income, at least in this Exhibit 570.
That's correct.
All right, now, Mr. Lee was annualizing sales. Are the sales cyclical in your business, in your experience?
Over the course of the year?
Yes.
Yes, a little bit.
When did they spike?
They seem to spike around August.
All right, and historically have October and November sales been less than July, August, and September sales?
Typically they dip a little bit.
How much?
I don't know the exact numbers, but they definitely come down a bit for those winter cold months.
All right, now, Mr. Lee was asking a question about gross profit in 2010. Obviously, you had a gross profit, then you had a net profit.
Yes. All
right, and and you have to split that net profit 3 ways between the owners, correct?
Correct.
And you pay taxes on it.
Correct.
Just a couple more questions, Mr. Kaya. Just for the record, when Mr. Lee was asking about the $8 million estimate less the $6.733 million, that number is approximately $1.2 million. Is that correct?
Correct?
Right. And earlier there seemed to be some confusion. There was a number thrown around that was a $2.2 million number.
Yes.
Right. And have you tried to annualize the 2012 sales, accounting for the cyclicality of the business? In other words, that it trails off in the fall?
Yes, but I haven't done it as much. It's been, it's a little bit more, I don't know, our sales growth doesn't seem as clear after this whole issue with Sally's.
Right. Now, Mr. Lee asked you a question, whether your sales doubled over a 2-year period. Do you recall that question?
Correct, yes.
All right. Now, earlier in your direct, what kind of sales pace were you looking at in 2010?
From 2010 to 2011?
What kind of annual sales pace were you looking at?
We were coming close to doubling leading up to 2010 every year, sometimes more.
All right. And needless to say, doubling over a year is not the same as doubling over 2 years.
Correct.
How long has Shea Moisture been in the business?
I've heard I was told it was 17 years. I don't know the exact date that they started.
All right, and the other thing was Mr. Lee was asking about Sally Beauty sales and saying, and I think, just to clarify, saying 3.1 sales overall, $1.9 million of sales in 2011. Those were the sales of the mixed silk products, to your knowledge?
Correct.
Have you actually sat down and analyzed the damages scenario in this case?
Personally?
Yes.
No.
All right, and do you have an understanding of who did that?
Our financial expert.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I recross with a couple of very brief questions?
Of course. It's your time.
Okay, Mr. Kai, a couple of things. 2005, 2006, 2007, Mixed Chicks was still a relatively new company and growing every day, right?
Right.
Any new business as it starts up has a very aggressive growth cycle. From year 1 to year 2, the business doubles, triples, or whatever off of a small amount of business. Is that fair? Is that correct?
No, I would say the majority of businesses fail in the first couple of years. A few fortunate ones get to experience growth. Ours was very high.
I understand that, sir, and you have a successful business. I agree with that. My question is this: as a company matures and it becomes more established in the market, and a bigger company, generally speaking, isn't it correct to say it's common for companies' growth to begin to level out a little bit more?
Objection calls for an expert opinion and is speculative.
I don't believe that our growth is going to level out too much, and I didn't believe it was going to level out in 2010 and 2011. The amount of people that consider themselves biracial, multiracial, it's a huge number and it's growing. There was a lot of people, myself included, who did not get to choose more than one box. You had to choose black or white when I went to college. You had to choose one. Now people can choose multiracial. That number is growing. It's getting huge. It's getting bigger, and it has been growing forever. So I believe it's going to continue to grow, and we should continue to grow.
Well, is it your testament that the company is going to double in size every year?
I didn't say it would double in size every year forever. I believed it would double in the year that I spoke of.
I understand. So by I believe you admitting that it's not going to double every year, at some point the growth percentages begin to level out.
Some point in the future, yes.
You just believe you haven't reached that point yet.
Correct.
Now, you were talking about the cyclical nature of the business for 2012. Now, I understand we talked about earlier that the company just launched in Target this summer. Is that right?
Correct.
So when we were looking at, in effect, 8 months and 2 weeks worth of to-date sales, is it fair or is it correct to say only about 2 months worth of those sales actually reflect the new Target business?
I don't remember the date exactly when we went into Target.
Does July sound about right?
Could be.
Yeah. Any reason to believe July is not accurate?
No.
Would give or take a month from July? Does that sound reasonable?
I will give or take a month, yes.
So based upon that, then it's fair to say the first 6 months of the 8 months and 2 weeks we looked at would not include any target sales. Is that fair to say, or is that a correct statement?
That is correct.
And so beginning at some point, at the end of the sales that we were looking at, the company is now in target up to 700 new stores, and I believe you indicated growing more SKUs in more stores for the rest of the year. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Cohn.
Redirect.
Is there such a thing?
Yes. Sometimes it goes on and on.
I don't have any more, Your Honor.
Ah, you may step down, sir. Call your next witness, please.
I think I've got a curse going, Your Honor. Miss Levy is my next witness, and I believe she stepped out to the restroom. Oh, here she comes.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Kai, appreciate it. I don't know if I will. I'll collect the binder.
Sure.
There to make it a little.
Can you send her husband after her?
Ken, would you like your binder back from Brad?
Yeah, let me do that.
I do apologize, Your Honor.
That's all right. We may have wrapped up the husband's examination quicker than we thought. Hello, please step forward and take the witness stand. You're on.
If you'll please stand and raise your right hand. Sorry, sure. You solemnly swear the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated, please. And please state and spell your first and last name.
Wendy Levy Kaya. It's WendyLevyKaaya.
Thank you.
Hello, Miss Levy. Thanks for taking the stand. What's your role at Mixed Chicks?
Co-owner.
And what do you do generally, and I'm talking about generally today, in the year 2012 for Mixed Chicks?
I do a variety of things, such as anywhere from product development to, attending trade shows, doing public relations. I also am responsible for most billing, from putting in the purchase orders to paying all of the bills that, we have.
And you're married to Mr. Kaya, of course?
Yeah.
And you know Miss Etheridge?
Yeah.
Since we have a limited amount of time, I want to talk about the inception of Mixed Chicks until 2008. It's in the record that the company was founded in 2003. And I want to fast forward to the 2005 through 2008 time frame. What kind of things were you doing for Mixed Chicks in that time frame?
All of the operations shared between myself, Kim, and Brad. So that would mean packing boxes, to actually going to like a box store, purchasing the boxes, taping them together, fulfilling web orders. Even we would even go to to our lab to pick up products. I mean, I would be, I guess, like a warehouse guy. I mean, I actually would drive the U-Haul, go out back of a lab and, fill up the truck, take it to the warehouse, unload it, download orders, pay bills. I mean, everything that there was to do. We didn't have employees during that time, so everything and anything that had to get done, I did.
And do you have a daughter?
Yes.
When was your daughter born?
She was born in October 2008.
And did you work while you were pregnant?
Yes, I worked until noon on October 9th, and I delivered at 4:30 on October 9th, and I was back at work. That was a Thursday. I was back at work on Tuesday with her in my arms, nursing her.
Now, when your child Charlie was born, the business was still operating out of the house?
Yeah, well, October 1st, because I knew she was coming October 9th, we had to find a new location by then, because at that point we did have one employee that would come in and out, and the sound of the tape every morning would wake me up. And I didn't think that that would be so great to have an employee in my house with a newborn and tape constantly being torn to tape up boxes. I just wanted a nest. I didn't want strangers in it, so we had to find a warehouse by then.
And the worker who's making the noise with the tape, that was your first employee?
Yeah.
All right. So then you moved into a warehouse, and it's interesting. Cases are interesting. I never knew the precise date. Sounds like October 1st is about the time you moved into that warehouse.
October 1st is when we moved into that warehouse.
Perfect. Now, I want to talk about the first, or one of the big breaks you got. Do you recall Halle Berry endorsing Mixed Chicks?
Of course, yes.
And who is Halle Berry?
Halle Berry is the coolest mixed chick there is to me. Not just because she did that, but because she was the first woman of color to win an Oscar, and I just like her as an actress. And
what led to her endorsing your product?
Got a hold of some samples and tried the product, and she obviously loved it, and she, I'm sure, identified with us because she was a mixed chick also. And I got a call one day in the office, and it was from, I believe the first call came from In Shape magazine, and they just said, you know, you're one of Halle Berry's top 5 must-haves, and we need a JPEG of the photo for March issue. And I was happily stunned.
And approximately what year was this?
I think it was 2004. I think that it was 2007.
Well, let me. Does 2009 ring a bell with you?
It rings a bell.
All right, that's okay. Let me take a look at Exhibit 766.
Mhm. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And Your Honor, this may fall into. I'd like to move it into evidence. I'm anticipating an objection.
Well, make the motion and we'll see.
What is Exhibit 766?
It's the March 2009 ad, so I was off on my dates, on my year.
And what magazine is it?
Shape magazine.
And what does it depict on the second page of 766?
It depicts.
Just generally, please.
It depicts our shampoo squirted out across the bottom right corner of the page, and a mention of it.
All right, and is this a copy of something that came out in Shape magazine in 2009?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to move Exhibit 766 into evidence, please.
Yeah, we have a hearsay objection to this exhibit.
All right, right at 4:30. Now, we had talked about starting at 8:30 tomorrow because we're getting a little behind, and I want to keep to our schedule. So 8:30 tomorrow, 8:30 tomorrow, talk to Ms. Bradall, and we'll see you for an 8:30 start time. You're excused. Thank you.
All right.
All right, remain seated there for just a moment. Put it on the screen, please. All right. What particular hearsay are you referring to?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, this exhibit does not actually show a product that has Ms. Berry as a guest editor who is making statements about various products, including on the bottom right, the Mixed Chicks shampoo and deep conditioner products.
Okay, I'm not sure I understood that. Say that again.
Yes, sir.
The hearsay is what?
Is Ms. Berry's statement as the guest editor for the magazine making statements about the product.
And what does she say?
She says, reading, Your Honor, Mixed Chicks shampoo and deep conditioner, both at mixedchicks.net, or moisturizing and keep my locks shiny and healthy, and their tropical scent is fantastic.
Response of the plaintiff.
Your Honor, it's the publicity of the product, building the brand, publicizing the brand. It's relevant for its effect on the market. It's a trademark case. So just a cautionary instruction to the jury that it's not submitted for the truth of the matter, but rather for the impact on the market is appropriate. It should be admitted.
State of mind of the declarant?
No, Your Honor, it's effect on the hearer. It's not for the truth of the.
What about state of the mind of the declarant?
It's not for the truth of the matter asserted. It's for the publicity of the brand. It's equivalent to an advertisement.
I'm trying to help you here. You won't go with
Sure.
state of the mind?
I will go with state of the mind, Your Honor.
Is there something wrong with that?
No.
I thought that you fought me, and now I'm going to have to rethink it. Response?
Your Honor, yes, he's not introducing for state of mind. He's introducing it for the perception on the reader, which is to read that Halle Berry says these great things about it. There's other publicity we've seen. We've seen a lot of publicity. We have one here with the hearsay statement.
Well, I think it's relevant that Halle Berry liked the product.
That's in the record, Your Honor.
But most importantly, I think my earlier ruling about advertising in a case like this it justifies its introduction with a strong cautionary statement again. So I'll let it in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
We have some housekeeping issues.
All right. Let me also say, on the issue of is that fair, I don't want to freak you out on that. I'll tell you, I never liked that. I was like, is that correct? I always thought, is that fair? You know, there can actually be things marginally false, which you wouldn't say are unfair to say. It could be mistaken. So I always like questions that set up impeachment. If the answer turns out to be wrong, and I don't think I have an assistant United States attorney in the courtroom, I don't think you could impeach on an answer to is that fair. But do as you like, except on the question when you say there's all sorts of competitors and they're taking away your business, is that fair? That's the only time I've spoken out. So that's the only time I'll question the ambiguity of is that fair. Okay? But otherwise, it's just fine. And now you may step down. And what else do we have?
Your Honor, we intend to play some video tomorrow. And number one, there's some objections that need to be ruled on.
Okay.
Courtney Jones is the first one that we're going to play. But I believe Ms. Reynolds.
Now you're talking about deposition videos?
Yes.
Because when you say videos, I'm wondering if
I
I'm
apologize.
going to see that ad again.
Yeah, well, we may see the ad again. I may not be able to resist.
Okay.
But,
well, you know what? It's not in evidence because opening statement is not evidence. But go ahead.
I want to play it the day after. I will play it tomorrow. So we intend to submit the deposition testimony of Courtney Jones. The only issue there is you have the original with objections interlineated in the margins to the designations, and we need to get rulings on those.
So at 4:30, you're telling me that at 8:30 tomorrow you need rulings from me?
Well, no. Ms. Levy will be testifying before that, although, and I can shift it around a bit. But yes, I would like to play it tomorrow.
All right. Where is this transcript?
I believe the original's been submitted. Yes. Okay. Courtney Jones, Your Honor.
Who are we speaking of?
Courtney Jones.
How long a video will that be?
It's less than 30 minutes.
You want me to rule on 30 minutes? You're telling me at 4:30. I'm just saying, as this trial progresses, it might be a little more fair. Let me know ahead of time. I mean, what if I really was busy tonight from 4:30 to 10, which I often am on other cases? You know, give me a little more lead time.
I apologize, Your Honor, so you're probably not going to like what I'm going to say next.
Well, come on, let's be fair. Let's just be human here. We've got a lot of cases, and I got to tell you, I've been working late pretty much every night and Saturday and Sunday on cases. So I can squeeze it in. It's my job, but the more you can maybe give me a little courtesy with lead time, the more helpful it would be. Now, I'm looking at this deposition. Do you know how long it'll take to read this? Oh, my goodness.
Your Honor,
are you kidding me?
But it's marked, Your Honor.
And as I just glanced through it, it seems to be marked on a good number of pages. So tell me what the marking indication is.
That I have to ask. What are the colors? Blue are the plaintiff's designations.
Let me get this down. Blue is plaintiff.
Green is defendant, Your Honor.
And objections are?
Objections should be, my understanding is they're in the margins, Your Honor. I did not. Okay, correct. They're in the margins. Any objections are in the margins. So it's not as bad as it looks, Your Honor.
Well, you know what? Well, okay, so. You know what? The objections are not particularly voluminous. All right, now, but then, see, there's the other issue of when I make my ruling, how do you adjust your video? To be honest, usually on these depo transcripts, you know, we need, your videographer needs lead time. How are you going to handle that?
Mr. Vaughn is superhuman, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Vaughn, you should be complaining more than I am here, but okay, I'll make my ruling. I'll let you know. I'd be happy to come in at 8 o'clock and let you know, but we actually have a criminal matter at 8. And I'll ask the Assistant U.S. Attorney, are you on that one? You are, because you're replacing our pregnant Assistant U.S. Attorney. All right, so I'll just be able to tell you at 8:30, and you'll have to do it while we finish up the other witness, who should take a while, I assume.
I think so, Your Honor. So tomorrow's schedule, first of all, I'd like to tell you that we're on track. It looked like we were a little off track, but we're actually exactly on track of where I expected to be.
You know, the problem is my timing didn't account for half a day of voir dire. And I counted the voir dire against you, but I didn't count my voir dire against you.
So, that's got me a little concerned. But your next point that I'm not going to allow is?
We were planning on playing also some based on my schedule, and I've mapped this out pretty well, but it looks like tomorrow afternoon, based on my intended schedule, we would also get to the deposition of Ms. Walker, which is similarly marked, and I think has a similar, hopefully limited level of objections that Mr. Vaughn can, again, superhumanly edit. And I do apologize, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we do have an objection that we've noted in the amended final pretrial conference order and in our trial brief to the playing of Ms. Walker's deposition.
Because?
She's here in court. I mean, she's an officer of the company, so I will acknowledge under the rules the plaintiff is entitled to play the video, but she is sitting here, and I think the general, as I understand it, the general judicial preference is to have testimony live, and so that witnesses, our jury can judge witness credibility live as opposed to a static two-dimensional video. And I think it would be prejudicial to Ms. Walker, when everyone else is taking the stand to testify, to have her sitting here and wondering why the video is being played.
Well, first of all, we have a right to play it under the federal rules of evidence.
I have a right to extend a 403 or other forms of objections.
And I
according to, so your right is subject to my decision. So tell me why I should make a decision for you.
Second, the jury should be able to see Ms. Walker testify before. Shouldn't your first answer be party witness? Exactly. She's a party witness, Your Honor, and we do have a right to play it because she's a party witness. And I would like to see the jury be able to judge her deposition testimony as opposed to the trial testimony that she's going to present. And I'm perfectly happy with an instruction to the jury that says that we're playing a small snippet. How long is it, Mr. Long? 22 minutes. And we have a right to do it, and it doesn't mean that she's not going to testify later.
Okay, but let me just say, it does impose a burden on the court. You know, if we that I'm now learning about at 4:40 to get everything read for you by tomorrow. So that's an issue. There's also 403 objections if this were to take longer than normal. But I'll say to both of you, 403 hasn't disappeared, but it's diminished in a time trial for obvious reasons. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yes, I do, Your Honor, and I've edited the living heck out of these clips to get them down, and we squeezed all the dead space out, and so it'll be very efficient. I really do want the jury to see these individuals testify before, quite frankly, the defendant realizes the stakes, and then they show up in the box. And I have that right. I'd like to use it. And I would tell you that I also have...
Let me just say, I'm inclined to allow the deposition testimony. It's been, frankly, my experience that people underuse their right to show the deposition of a party opponent, and so I'm inclined to allow it.
And Your Honor, we do also have, and I cannot stress to you the importance in my mind as a trial lawyer, the importance of these videos. We do have a third.
Next point.
Renee Reynolds, and I don't know if there's a dispute about that. I'm sorry? Tomorrow? Not tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
What's the issue on Renee Reynolds?
Your Honor, before we get to Renee Reynolds, I'm sorry, I've got another point I'd like to make on Ms. Walker, and that is there are two issues. Can we get a limiting instruction about the playing of the video?
What limiting instruction?
Sorry, not limiting, an instruction to cure the potential prejudice issue. And the jury's
I don't understand what that instruction would be.
Well, the jury's not going to understand why she's sitting here and her deposition is being played when everyone else is taking the stand live, and Mr. Parker's already said that he would not be opposed to an instruction to the jury that
Tell me what you want the instruction to say.
The instruction would just simply say that Ms. Walker was deposed and the parties in a case have the right to play the video and instead of calling them live, and so they're taking advantage of
Okay, remind me and I'll say that. It's up to you to remind me. Next point.
All right, then the other question is, can I cross-examine her since she's in the courtroom after that video is played?
Response?
I have a case in chief and they have a case in chief, Your Honor, and I have a right to play video testimony. It's an important right, and I agree it's underutilized, and I don't think they should be able to disrupt my case that way. They have counter designations that they can play, I believe. And typically, the way I've done it, you get down these nitty-gritties, there's no rules. You can pull out Rudder Group or whatever trial guide, but I've seen parties play the deposition with the counters seriatim. I've seen the counters played in the case in chief, but I've never seen, quite frankly, someone pull a witness up and get to do a cross in the middle of the other side's case in chief.
Well, there's two issues. Number one, would it be cross at this point? And number two, do we have to wait till the defense case? If you were to be putting her on the stand live, the defense could cross their own witness. You're putting her on the stand via video, and I don't know the answer to that question. Does anyone have any authority on that?
I don't, Your Honor.
How long would this cross be?
It might be fairly lengthy, Your Honor.
Well, then I have concerns, because then you're putting on your case through leading questions in the middle of the plaintiff's case, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say on that.
Although I will say that's always the risk on calling an adverse witness. You debate whether you call an adverse witness during your case, and one of the disadvantages of an adverse witness is it gives the defense a chance to put their case in the middle of your case. It's just the complication here is via the video. Any further word on that?
Well, Your Honor, it's a video, and all I'll say is we'll look for the authority, but all I can rely on is past experience, and a party has a right to play a video. A party has a right to put on their case, and certainly if you call an adverse witness in your case in chief, they get cross-examined within the scope of your direct. Now, it so happens tomorrow, because Mr. Stewart and I are working together with Ms. Truong, who will testify tomorrow, we're going to put her on entirely, so he gets to do the cross. But I've never seen a party deposition read or played in a trial lead to the ability of the opposing party to disrupt the pace of the case in chief. I have a right to play the video, and I want to play it, and I don't think they get a right to call her on cross. They get to put on their case next week, and
if you called her live, they could cross her. You're not going to seek any live testimony from her?
Your Honor, I intend to cross-examine her in their case in chief. I've known that they're calling her.
Their case in chief. You don't intend to put on her live in your case?
Your Honor, I will be honest with you. It never occurred to me that
The answer is no?
I might, if I can't play the video.
That's not what I'm asking. If you play the video, will you put her on live during your case?
No.
Having not read the transcript yet, do you think it is sufficiently broad enough that there is no beyond the scope suitable objection towards any examination by the defendant?
I'm confident that there's scope objections, Your Honor, because we've cut these clips down because of the time trial.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. It's an interesting question. I invite you to give me any authority. I'll be reading the stuff tonight, and I'll get an idea. It is possible. I would not let you get full range of your whole case. It's possible I might give you as much time as the video takes. I'll just have to think about it tonight because there's no other authority being given to me.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Anything else?
We started Renee Reynolds, and I interrupted because I had another.
Okay, what's the issue on Renee Reynolds?
Your Honor, we also want to play deposition video of Renee Reynolds, and this video is really important. I think as the case unfolds, it will become clear why.
Who Renee Reynolds is?
Renee Reynolds is a director?
Director of the multicultural category.
She's a director of the multicultural category and made
For who?
for Sally Beauty.
All right, so it's the same issue we've just addressed, correct?
Yes,
When do you want to put her on?
Friday.
Your Honor, can I be heard?
Yes, of course.
Her title is director. She's a mid-level manager. She's not a director like.
Now we're at another issue. I mean, your opening comment about the witness we will hear tomorrow is that she was sufficiently high in management that you weren't objecting to party witness. Now you're raising what is the nature of a party witness subject to the reading of a deposition. And that's always been something that has intrigued me as well. And you know, it's a combination actually of 801D2A and FRCP 32A2 and FRCP 32A4. And it's an interaction of the federal rules and the evidence code on the use of depositions. And so you might just want to write those numbers down, 801D2A, FRCP 32A2, and FRCP 32A4. That is not something we need to decide now in anticipation of tomorrow, because she will not be read tomorrow, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so look at that and let's find another time to more fully discuss this.
And, Your Honor, I can tell you that this issue has been briefed as a part of the party's pretrial submissions. It's part of the trial briefs, and I believe it may also have been in our memorandum of contentions of fact and law, but I know it was in our trial brief.
As to both of these proposed witnesses?
No, I'm not on the issue.
So how deep down the management level goes before a depo cannot be read? Is that the issue?
Yeah.
What did you brief then? I'm trying to remember.
In our trial brief.
Good. I'll look forward to that. All right. So we'll withhold that. I must say I am a little uncomfortable with the reading of party opponent deposition. I've said it hasn't been done much. When it is done, it's usually done at the end of your case. At the end of your case, Your Honor, I have a few depo things I wish to read, not in the middle of your case, and that's why this issue may not have reached the books in terms of case law analyzing it. Again, because it's not done that often, and when it is done, it's usually done with a few snippets read at the end of plaintiff's or defendant's case. You're now wanting to put it in the middle of your case. I do have the power to organize the presentation of evidence for the benefit of the jury and for fairness of the parties, so I'm going to think about that. But then I'm also going to be reading the depos. So we'll see you all at 8:30 tomorrow. I'm glad you say you're moving along on a timely manner. I will say that tomorrow at 4 o'clock, all the judges of the Central District are having one of their big meetings. And it's going to be here in this court in Orange County. It's usually up in Los Angeles. It's going to be here in this court in Orange County. And it would be very, very bad form if I didn't attend, since I'm here in Orange County. The meeting will start at 4. I've told them I'm going to miss the first half hour. So at 4:30, I've got to move on out of here. Also, one of my colleagues in Los Angeles long ago asked me to pick him up at the train station when he drives down here. So we may have to stop at 11:45 so I can get over to the train station, pick him up, drop him off here, and then get back to our trial at 1:30. So there might be a little glitch there. That also means we might have trouble finding time to argue this new issue. So I'll look over your papers, and I'll see if further argument is necessary, and that's the best I can do at this time.
Your Honor.
Now, let me ask you something else. I have to ask this. most of the time when I read deposition transcripts, no offense to anyone here, but the objections are largely done by a mid or low-level associate, and I get the dumbest objections. I'm inclined to ask who did the objections. I mean, they go through and they don't want to get you mad, so they make, relevancy. They just throw the book at everything, and it takes a lot of time to wade through it. Who made the objections here?
Your Honor, did you do objections to counters? Okay, Mr. Wexler did our count. There's some counters, and he did the objections to the counters. I don't know who did them.
Not over there. Well, I'll just put it to you this way. I'll read them, and, I hope my patience will not be waned when I look at absolutely unfounded objections. That tends to make me look at additional objections a little more efficiently. All right, anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. One final housekeeping issue, and that is that we've. I'm a bit nervous about Friday. I think Mr. Parker has indicated he does not believe he will rest his case Friday, but all my witnesses are coming in from out of town, and if he rests, sometime before 1:30 on Friday, I've got a witness here who's flown across the country and then is going to have to, cool their heels or fly back for 5 days. And
okay, back up. You're assuming I know too much information. You were intending on putting witnesses on Friday?
Well, my understanding...
Hold on. Can you just, yes or no?
Well, I don't know, Your Honor, because...
Okay, then I'm not understanding your problem. So you weren't intending on having people here Friday?
My problem is this. I'm not certain right now...
Let me re-ask. Let me re-ask. Just to move through this quickly. You were thinking you might be putting witnesses on Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's what I need. Now I get the problem. And now you're saying that they may not rest. So all these witnesses will have to come out and come back. That's the issue?
Well, sort of.
Okay, go ahead then. It's your...
Mr. Parker does not believe he's going to rest his case before 1:30 on Friday. So I would only plan to have witnesses here if I needed to protect myself in case Mr. Parker finishes at 12:30 or 1 o'clock. But to do that, I've then got witnesses who are flying all the way across the country, and then with the 5-day break, would go back and then have to come back again, or sit here and pay for hotel rooms and meals throughout that entire period. And so I've just got a logistical problem where if Mr. Parker rests before 1:30, I'm putting a pickle in terms of having a witness for a short period.
What's your best guess on when you'll rest?
My best guess is I would rest on the 25th in the morning.
What day is the 25th?
That's Thursday. So we would not rest until
We're not
next
quite
week.
Right. That's next week.
Yes, that's when I think I'm going to rest. There's two caveats to that, Your Honor. One is some of the crosses have been shorter.
Can I just say, so you think you're going to fill up this Friday?
Yeah, but it depends on their crosses, and it depends on whether I can play my video.
I'm just trying to move it along. And you're saying they might not finish this Friday, and that's your problem?
If they don't,
then
I'm just worried that you're going to expect me to have a witness to put on Friday.
So what I just said was, you're thinking they might finish this Friday, and you're worried about that.
I have to prepare for that possibility, yes.
Okay. So, based on what I'm hearing here, if that's the case, you will be relieved. Okay?
That's what I'm looking at.
That's all that I'm cutting to. If you're telling me you think you're going to go through Friday, but defense counsel saying you may not and you don't want to be in trouble, I think under the circumstances, given people flying in and flying out, and given Mr. Parker's statement that he thinks he will go through Friday, I'll accept that.
Thank you.
Okay? Took care of that. Anything else?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then let me say, right now I am at 440 for the plaintiff and 310 for the defendant. Okay? Sometimes I give it a little wiggle room if I'm doing most of the talking, but that's where we now stand. 440 for the plaintiff, 310 for the defendant. Anything further?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. McCormick, please step forward.